It's the Joe Nuxhall Classic on Chatterbox Sports here in Mason, Ohio at Prasco Park. Good afternoon, everybody. We welcome you live here. Game 1 of the Joe Nuxhall Classic. Miami, Ohio. The RedHawks getting set to take on the Xavier Musketeers. It looks beautiful. For those of you who are at home and are watching this right now, and it's like, oh, the sun's out. It's beautiful. Look at those blue skies. Oh, it's a beautiful day. Do not get me wrong, but it's a little bit of a chilly one, no doubt about it. Justin Kidder with you here, Chatterbox Sports again. The Joe Nuxhall Classic Game 1, Miami of Ohio and Xavier getting set to go head-to-head. I want to welcome on our panel, our guests, as we get you set for Game 1 of the Joe Nuxhall Classic. Of course, now, Will Paz.
Yes, that's correct.
But I've been instructed it's not Will Paz, it's the thrill. What is it about Will Paz? What is it about you that we have to include the thrill? I have to play by those rules.
Well, people just say I do it all around the Miami baseball, set up the field, get on the broadcast from time to time, help with the track man, It's a utility. I'm a utility knife. That's why, I've been noted the thrill, which is just it's a great nickname. Honestly, it's the best nickname I've ever had.
Now, it's only a good nickname if you didn't give it to yourself.
No. It comes straight from the top. Coach Kyle Truin gave me that nickname.
Walk around with your own hype video?
No. We're working on that.
Okay.
We're working on it.
Well, you said you're like a utility knife. You do it all a little bit. Well, so is the guy to my right again, one of the voices for the Xavier Musketeers, of course, Mike Schmaltz, giving us some time. I know you got a busy day ahead of yourself. We appreciate you giving us some time ahead of the call coming up here in a bit. You sound cold.
It is cold.
It's baseball weather.
Spring.
It's
what do you want? Was it 55 yesterday? Now 45 yesterday?
It'll be a little warmer tomorrow.
Yeah.
A little warmer tomorrow.
These guys are used to it, so we'll be all right there.
Absolutely. Look, one of my favorite things about the Joe Nuxhall Classic is the fact that, like, in other sports, especially with these types of programs, they all kind of hide from one another. They don't kind of play one another. Obviously, Xavier, Cincinnati, a little bit of a different animal in that regards. But I think everyone would love to see something like this in basketball. We get it here with baseball. How cool is this, the Joe Nuxhall Classic, with these programs, these baseball programs, very good, all in one spot this weekend?
No, I think it's fantastic. It's a beautiful way to honor Joe's memory.
Yep.
Of course, right? But it's great to see the competition in the city because there's a lot of showcase. There's going to be a lot of Cincinnati talent and the area talent on all these rosters this weekend.
Absolutely. And again, same thing, throw it to you. Obviously, you're playing teams that you normally wouldn't see in other sports, but all here for baseball and for a great couple days.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we talk about Xavier, Cincy. Miami-Cincy, another great rivalry. And we've already played 2 games against Cincinnati this year. And I think anyone from the area loves to see, a ton of local guys on the Xavier team, a ton of local guys on Wright State. Miami might be the outlier. A lot not on there, but I think it's amazing to see teams come together, and I'm here for this 100% of the time.
Yeah.
It's just a blast to be here.
Let's start with Miami of Ohio, too. You talk about what they bring to the table here. Again, when you want to talk about their ability to hit the home run, they've hit more home runs than all the schools here heading into these couple of days here at Prasco. Just talk about what makes Miami of Ohio State dangerous. Obviously the long ball, but what is it about that aspect of their game that's put them in position heading into this?
Well, we have a lot of veterans on this Miami team. It's led by the leadoff guy, Dylan Baker, who's a graduate senior, probably the cleanest shortstop you might see here today, and that's a hot take because there are some amazing, incredible players here. But, you have 7 to 8 seniors in a lineup in any given day. David Novak has been a 4-year starter behind the backstop for the RedHawks. Zarlingo, who has been one of the hottest hitters in Ohio, if not the whole nation, batting over 400. And then Evan Applewick's another name that comes to mind, the home run guy, rivaling our former RedHawk, Rylan Zaborowski.
Not bad. Again, 20th in the country, too. I'd say that's a pretty good number.
Look, I'm happy with it. I can't complain. I can't complain.
Mike, when it comes obviously to Xavier at this point, obviously some injuries that they're battling through, but their schedule, when you take a look at their schedule, one of the toughest schedules in the country. What is it about that? What was it about this team coming into this season that they felt they needed to challenge themselves as much as they have with this schedule?
Well, I think they were looking for some offensive continuity in the middle of the lineup. Big Matt McCormick, gone. So he graduates, right? He was the big power hitter in the middle of the lineup. Isaac Waxman, who hit 330 last year, hitting like 182 coming into today. So they're trying to get those power numbers back up, but some new faces, assuming some new roles for the Musketeers, but they still have some veterans in there. Carter Hendrickson's going to lead off. He's probably their most consistent hitter. Clay Burdett's a newcomer, came from Ohio State. He's from Moeller.
Yep.
he's been a great bat, and now he was in a 4-hole here over the weekend, so we'll see what they do with him today. But they picked up some new faces, and they plugged in, and they're starting to mesh now coming back here to Cincinnati. They were on the road for the whole month of February, and as you mentioned, playing that grueling schedule, it was LSU, it was on the road in Tennessee. They did split out at Stanford, which was huge. It was a four-game series. They got 2 of them, but the other ones they got a little bit roughed up in, as you might imagine, but they're coming in here well tested, and I don't think they're going to back down to any of the competition here this weekend.
We'll talk about the lineups more coming up here in just a moment, but midweek games, of course, the different arms that you throw out during the week versus on the weekends, of course. Let's talk about the pitching for Xavier at this point, and what arms should we expect to see over the next couple of days as they try to win the Joe Nuxhall Classic. I know we didn't have a winner last year, but Xavier coming away with it in 22-23, looking to do the same thing here in 25.
We'll see what Billy O'Connor does, but his Friday guy, Ryan Peach, might pitch today. He didn't pitch on Sunday. They threw Luke Hoskins, their starting pitching this year has been a nice strong point for him. It's been very consistent so far, so they're trying to fill in the relieving roles and try to identify some of those a little bit better. But Peach might go today. I don't know what they're going to do. But they've got a nice rotation in there for the Musketeers. So he's a newcomer. Ben Weber came over from Air Force. He's an option. He could be a Sunday guy. So we'll see what Billy O'Connor does here.
Let's go back to the thrill.
Yeah.
Let's go back to the thrill over here, of course. Will the thrill pass? It's a very similar question, of course. Taking a look at this right now, Miami they're 0-7 in midweek games, 17-7, on the weekends. Kind of what's the difference in regards to that? Some of it has to do with the pitching, of course, obviously, but talk about how the RedHawks, how you anticipate them approaching the next couple of days.
Well, the next couple of days, I think it's all hands on deck for the RedHawks. Today, we're going to see Caden Pfeffer on the bump for the RedHawks, but, we don't know how long he's going to go, and it could be a multitude of anyone. Some guys who we've seen pitch in the weekends, a few relief appearances. We might see a Nick DeMonica today. We might see really anyone out of the bullpen, maybe even some arms that we haven't seen all year. There's a few freshmen ready to go. I know Sam Pesey, Paul Hughes, 2 guys who we haven't seen this year for the RedHawks, but they're available. It's 2 midweek games this week, and it's all hands on deck. The guy who you probably aren't going to see today, didn't travel today, is Carson Byers, the Bulldog, as we've been calling him on the Chatterbox broadcast. But Byers did not travel today. He pitched a lot this past weekend. Was out of the pen on Friday for extended time, Sunday again, but I wouldn't be surprised if we see him again on Wednesday tomorrow, especially if a big win for the RedHawks today against Xavier. A little bit of clash there. We don't want to go. It's going to be a great game. It's going to be a great game, and we might see some faces that you haven't seen before. And I'll tell you what, these faces, they're going to compete, and a lot of them, we have a lot of hidden gems on this RedHawks team. So watch out for any of these arms.
We think about the competition here. So Horizon League, Wright State's got a chance to win that. Xavier's got a nice chance now to win the Big East. Miami in the MAC first place. And then you've got Cincinnati playing in the Big 12. If Cincinnati goes out and picks off any of these teams, RPI goes straight up. Yeah. So there's some opportunity here that way for these next 2 days.
You bring that up. The competition, obviously, very, very good over the next couple of days, but you add the in-state rivalry aspect to this as well. I know we talked about this a little bit ago in regards to we don't see this in some of the other sports, but in baseball, it's very unique. I've seen Ohio State go to play, at Dayton, where I'm from. They played at Wright State, similar with the programs you have here. These teams aren't afraid to go at one another, but you get them all on one field here over the next couple of days. You talk about the Cincinnati, Miami of Ohio, Wright State, Xavier, of course. Bragging rights, how much does that play a role for any of these teams who are trying to come away with winning the Joe Nuxhall Classic here, something that Xavier's done, quite a lot as of late?
Well, I think you always want to plant your flag, right? So this is the home of the Big East tournament. Xavier's played here a bunch. I think they consider this somewhat of a home field from time to time. So there's a lot of pride in inter squad. And then you've got a lot of kids that are coming back to play at these programs from different schools. So Nolan Tucker comes from Southern Miss to transfer. And so the portal has something to do with that, too. If some of these kids go out to these programs, they don't get the playing time they think they're going to get. They come back. And you want to have those bragging rights when you're out on the recruiting trail. So it's almost getting to that basketball point to where you don't want to lose to Dayton, you don't want to lose to Miami because then you lose in the recruiting roles. It's kind of trickling into baseball now. That's
a good point, too, because especially for baseball, a lot of these schools are going after a lot more of the same players. Mm-hmm. Basketball's a little bit different. Everyone's more spread out with their recruiting territories. Not the case with baseball. There's a lot of overlap there.
Yeah.
So, as far as, similar question to you, bragging rights. It means a lot to take on a team like Xavier, who's played such a tough schedule. Obviously, trying to get a big quality win like this to get to the next solid championship tomorrow. How big of a win would this be for Miami to come out on top over Xavier?
I think it'd be huge. I mean, especially Miami hadn't seen Xavier this year. This would be the only time that we see Xavier. And I think, if you can win the one-game series, that's enough bragging rights in itself. A lot of these guys, they might have played, together in high school. If we recruit local, even if it's just Ohio as a whole, Northeast Ohio, Southwest Ohio, anywhere in Ohio. I mean, guys have seen each other play for years. And I think, the inner, you make friends. It's bragging rights between there. But, if Miami goes on to the championship here, plays a Cincinnati or Wright State, we've lost both midweek games. We've played Wright State twice in midweeks, lost both those. Cincy, same thing. So I think going out and treating it maybe like a three-game series and don't get swept. And I think that's a big thing for Brian Smiley and the coaching staff and the players as well.
As far as both teams are concerned, we've talked about their pitching, we've talked about their players, some of the injuries, the schedules. Coaching's obviously something that's very unique about both of these teams as well. You talk about Smiley in year 2 for him. Just talk about the transition there again as continuing to put pieces together here.
I mean, Brian Smiley's putting together a great season so far. I think obviously we want to win more midweek games, especially rivalry games like Cincinnati. We played Ohio State a few weeks ago, but the program is night and day to what it used to be. I mean, from the coaching staff from the top, Coach Smiley, and then go down the line, Coach Truen, Coach Scully, Coach Rivera, and Coach Colgate, our newest member of the coaching staff, along with Miguel Rivera. All of them, they're doing such a great job right now, and I think the team camaraderie, along with their dynamic with the coaching staff, it's working wonders for the program.
Look, he's about to go back over there. Oh, he is doing his thing today. I like it. Now I see why they call you the Thrill.
True to
what
the
you're
colors.
doing.
Hey, I do what I can.
Love and honor.
That's what. Hey, look, I got a rep.
There it is.
Repping the Miami right here.
I like it.
Billy O'Connor just recorded his 200th
Yes.
win. On the Xavier side, obviously, very, very good coach. Been around for quite some time. 200 wins. Talk about what that means for this.
Well, I think it's fantastic for a program like Xavier. And, again, he's trying to up the level of competition. So he's going out. They had 30 wins last year, didn't make it. They thought they had a good shot on NCAA at-large, didn't get it. So he's trying to up that RPI and put them in contention to get the at-large bid if they don't happen to win the conference tournament, which, again, will be right here coming up right before Memorial Day. But for him, he's just a fantastic competitor. He's an Elder guy, so he was a catcher at Elder, went to Indiana, transferred to Xavier, got on the coaching staff with Scott Guggens and kind of stayed. So he's taken it over. He's really guided it well, and he's up the level across the board, really, with this program.
All right, again, we're just moments away from the start of Game 1 of the Joe Nuxhall Classic. Miami of Ohio, the RedHawks, getting set to take on the Xavier Musketeers. I know that you will be on the call with Keegan Nicholson coming up here just around the corner. Now, obviously, player manager, you're doing your jack of all trades, as we talked about just a little bit ago. I talked to both of you guys a little bit before this, and we only have just a couple minutes, so we'll make this quick. But this is a beautiful spot to for one, play, but to be doing this show from, of course. Just talk about Prasco Park and our friends here that have, put on such a great scene for the Joe Nuxhall Classic.
All right, it's Masters Week, right? One of the pristine venues in all of golf. This is one of the best ones you'll find in baseball anywhere. It's beautiful. They've added the stands out here. It's so well groomed. There's not a weed anywhere. It looks like artificial surface. They take immaculate care of this facility. It's beautiful.
Absolutely. Again, my first time out here, we were talking before. Beautiful place, especially a beautiful spot to potentially get a win over Xavier. Huh?
Oh yeah, I mean the only thing I can add about Prasco, we're talking about the Masters. Need a theme song. We got Georgia on the mind,
right?
On your
That's
mind for
point.
the Masters. Let's get us a theme song for Prasco.
Yeah.
I mean Ray Charles isn't around anymore, but let's get a guy out here to sing it. I'm out on that, but maybe you want it. Maybe you want to write it. So.
All right, well, good stuff. Again, I want to say thank you again. Mike Schmaltz, who's going to be on the call on the Xavier side again, along with Keegan Nicholson coming up here. We appreciate you. I know you have a lot of responsibilities coming up on your side as well. Will the Thrill Paz, awesome enough to give us some time as well. Again, it's the Joe Nuxhall Classic here on Chatterbox Sports on YouTube. We appreciate you guys tuning in. We'll have pregame coverage before every game for the next couple of days, and we, of course, kicked it off here, so we're in good shape. All right, that wraps it up for us. It's now time for Game 1 of the Joe Nuxhall Classic. We'll step away for a few moments. Game 1, Miami of Ohio, the Xavier Musketeers, next.
Welcome to Chatterbox Sports coverage of the Joe Nuxhall Classic. 2 days of great baseball here from beautiful Prasco Park in Mason, Ohio, home of the Big East tournament. Very familiar to the Xavier Musketeers. Xavier comes in here at 18-14. The Miami RedHawks at 17-14. Mike Schmaltz alongside Keegan Nickerson. Keegan, a crisp day here, but yet nevertheless sun-splashed here in beautiful Mason.
Yeah, that's what everyone's been saying to me. This isn't baseball weather. It's too cold. But I've been saying we haven't seen the sun in 2 weeks. I forgot what color the sky was for a while. So I'm very, very excited for it. This field, this facility is awesome. You don't get to see natural surfaces like this in this area of the country that often. So I'm really looking forward to it.
The Miami RedHawks come in off a series victory over the Bowling Green State Falcons. They took that series 2-1. That was on the road. They did get walked off 7-6 in that last game, but still a leg up in the conference. They come in as the first place team in the MAC. Yeah,
12-3 in MAC play. Yet to win a midweek game, 0-7 in that mark. So they're looking to break that schneid. 17-14 total. They have played Cincinnati twice, who's also going to be playing in the Joe Nuxhall Classic. Lost both games, including a close one last week.
And the Xavier Musketeers come into today in second place in the Big East. Now, it's only because they played two conference series. They did lose one game to Connecticut, but they did win the first series 2-1. They come off a sweep of Butler over the weekend.
Yeah, big sweep of Butler, 5-1 in the Big East, 18-14 total, 5-game win streak. And they obviously had that brutal non-conference 5-game sequence earlier in the year, Tennessee, Vanderbilt 3 times, and LSU. So they're prepared. They've played some really, really good baseball teams. It's no shock to see them get off to such a good start in conference play.
We talked about a little bit about this, but opportunity all around for each of the 4 teams here in this tournament. The Musketeers, of course, have a good chance to win the Big East. Miami, a great chance to win the MAC. Cincinnati's playing out of the
Big 12.
Big 12, right? And then, of course, Wright State with a great chance to win the Horizon.
Yeah.
So some RPI opportunity here for all these teams. And so it's not your average midweek game is what we're trying to get to.
Yeah, and a lot of quality baseball in Cincinnati with these college teams, Cincinnati, Dayton area. And it's just awesome because the quality of baseball has been so good for so long to see all these players playing on the same park. A lot of people from Cincinnati, it's the best.
Ashton Chronister is going to be the pitcher here today for the Xavier Musketeers. He's a left-hander, 5.79 ERA. He's got a 2-0 record. This is his 9th appearance, his first start. He's got 9 1/3 innings, 10 hits, 6 runs. They're all earned. He's walked 3 and struck out 7. And he's a candidate really for a long relief role here for the Musketeers. But you look at Ashton Chronister, big presence out there on the mound.
Yeah, 6'8". I think Richard Pitino is going to start texting him to try to get some rebounds for Xavier next year. Good wing frame. Yeah,
235. He's from Rogers, Arkansas. And the leadoff hitter here is Dylan Baker for the Miami RedHawks. Comes in with a 3.16 average. Started all 27 games so far. This is at bat number 115.
College of the Desert JUCO guy transferred to Miami. College of the Desert about 2 hours east of Los Angeles. He's from Tampa, Florida, so he's been all over the country trying to play baseball.
Ball is knocked down the right field line. It could be a chance for extra bases perhaps, but nice play out there in right field for the Xavier Musketeers starter out in right. That's Clay Burdett, who's a Moeller product here from Cincinnati, transferring from Ohio State where he didn't play last year, but a great pickup for the Musketeers.
Yeah, that pitch a little bit up and in on the hands, but just got just enough bat on it to punch it in the right field, and you'll take it. Seeing the field, he had that hard pull down the left field line, but then goes opposite field for the single.
Brings Ty Batucic to the plate, 333 for the season. This is at bat number 121. And Batucic takes a strike in the outside portion of the plate.
Western Kentucky transfer out of Joliet, Illinois, and Joliet West High School. 322 last season.
Chronister takes a good look over at first. Ball is chopped out in front. Jason Jellick, the Musketeer catcher, on to first, and that's over to Connor Mish. They get the out at first, but advance the runner.
Unconventional sacrifice bunt early in the game. Got it off the end of the bat there, but they'll take it early, get a runner in scoring position for your 3-hole Evan Applewick, who 13 home runs, tied for 13th in the nation, hitting 322, so he's dangerous here.
Applewick hits 394 with runners in position, 312 with runners on base, 322 for the campaign. driven in 41. So impressive early numbers here from Applewick. Chronister comes in with a breaking pitch at 73.
Yeah, that back foot slider, looking to catch him a little bit jumpy, but Applewick does a good job of laying off that one, see if he can get a fastball and a 1-0 count.
One on, one down, and Chronister misses outside. The count goes to 2-0. Around the infield for the Musketeers, it's Luke Hammond at third, Jake Lambden at short, Nolan Tucker transferring from Southern Miss at second, and Connor Mish, the big first baseman. Jason Jellick, we told you, behind the plate. Carter Hendrickson, Aiden Anderson, and Clay Burdette around the outfield for the Musketeers from left to right. Chronister comes in and misses again, so he's behind 3-0 here. Just outside again. Decent velocity there from Chronister, 85 miles an hour, but 4 straight pitches, 4 balls, and it's first and second for Miami.
Yeah, you never want to see, as a coach, your starting pitcher have a 4-pitch walk with the 4-hole hitter coming up, especially in the first inning. So Chronister's got himself into a little bit of a jam here, opportunity to get out of it, get some momentum, but Zarlingo is a very, very dangerous hitter.
This is Anthony Zarlingo, 362 for the campaign. He gets 375 with runners on base and 415 with runners in position. So a great chance here for Miami to cash in, get the early lead over the Musketeers.
Another JUCO guy at a Southwest Tennessee Community College, struggling as of late, 3 for 17 in his last 5, hitting 176. Had a 4 for 5 day against Western Michigan on March 29th.
Certainly Western Michigan type weather here today in Mason. Ball bounces out in front of the plate. Nice job by Jellick to smother that on a short hop. Counts at 1-1. Well, Chronister for the Musketeers, the freshman. And Billy O'Connor was telling us prior to the Ball State Series a couple of weeks ago that, trying to really establish some of these roles in his pitching staff. The solid 3-man rotation up front they feel very confident about. It's the middle relief and the late relief. I think they got that kind of nailed down with Jake Hooker as their closer. But Billy O'Connor was telling us, you show us anything on the mound, you're going to get the ball again. You're going to get it quickly. And Chronister today gets a good start after a relief appearance. Gets the count to 2-2 there.
Looks like we've already got some action, some Xavier guys running down to the bullpen. So Xavier's coach is very aware of the situation here.
Ball hit down the first baseline. It's over the glove of Connor Mish. Miami's going to score the first run of the ball game. 1-0 Miami. Nice shot down the line from Zarlingo.
A great approach in a 2-strike count. Stayed back on it, punched it down the line. A little bit harder hit than Miami's leadoff hitter, Dylan Baker. Really, really good piece of hitting by the 4-hole, knowing he doesn't have to do much. Now you got a runner on third, runner on first, still 1 out. And
more activity down in the Musketeer bullpen down the third baseline. Miami, of course, on the first baseline. Dylan Baker coming around to score on that shot. So 1 down, runners at the corners, and Chronister still in trouble here. This ball is launched out into left field. Carter Hendrickson's going to watch it go, and that's a 3-run home run for David Novak. 4-0 RedHawks, top of the first.
Yeah, wasted no time, saw the struggling starter, knew he was going to try to get ahead and throw a fastball, and he jumped on it. Now David Novak extends his hitting streak to 15 games. Very, very impressive hit there from Novak, and now Miami's got a 4-0 lead very, very early against Xavier. And good striking distance to get their first midweek game. You can't get a much better start. Xavier's pitcher here, Kronheister, has to figure it out, or it's going to be a very, very short leash.
10th home run of the season for Novak, and raises that RBI total now to 36, so he's second on the team in home runs. Now Ryan Novak stands in. Lefty on lefty matchup, so this should help Chronister a bit, perhaps settle down. Comes in with a nice strike at 89, 0-1.
Ryan Novak started 52 games as a freshman last year, hit 273. Very good season for a first-year guy.
Chronister delivers and misses it. Count goes to 1-1.
Now you're in a position as Chronister, just base is empty. You got the lefty-lefty matchup. You just have to challenge them. Can't let the walks haunt you anymore.
Swing and a miss. Took a little off that at 82 miles an hour. Got it in for a strike, and 1-2. He's ahead for one of the few times so far in this contest. Breaking pitch falls in for a strike, and Chronister settles down there. Takes advantage of the lefty-on-lefty matchup. Records his first strikeout of the afternoon.
Yeah, caught the corner there at 73 with the curveball. Good pitch by Chronister. Now you're in a position you can get out of this inning, only giving up 4, not having a complete explosion. But as a pitcher in that situation, you just got to eat it and try to get out of the inning as quick as possible, and don't let it snowball.
Dominic Krupczynski stands in now from the left side into this at-bat with a .306 average. It's at-bat number 109 of the season. He's knocked in 21, 33 hits. He's got a triple, 4 home runs in the mix as well. He's behind 0-1 here. Chronister getting the breaking ball working. Good movement again, and he's ahead 0-2.
Indiana State transfer, .462 on-base percentage with 8 doubles out of Livonia, Michigan, my mistake.
Chronister tries again, outside portion. Missed there. Counts at 1-2. It's another test here for this Musketeer coaching staff to see what the young folks can do when they're under pressure. See how they react to a 3-run home run. And Chronister coming right into his left-handed counterparts. Getting aggressive here with the last 2 hitters.
And that's why Krupczynski has that .462 on-base percentage. Gets caught out front, but just gets a piece of it.
Chronister from the stretch, the 1-2. It's off the end of the bat. Krupczynski stays alive. Good crowd on hand here for game 1. Wright State and Cincinnati follow tonight. Chronister winds, fires, ball is chopped over to Connor Mish. Grabs that, going to take it himself, and that will end the inning. But the big blow for the Miami RedHawks, David Novak, a 3-run home run. And that followed a single that scored the leadoff hitter, Dylan Baker, for Miami. And they lead it 4-0. Musketeers coming to bat for the first time. It's 4 runs on 3 hits for the RedHawks, and Xavier now going to try to answer. Musketeers will line up like this today. Jake Lambden, the shortstop, will lead off. Carter Hendrickson, the left fielder, bats second. Connor Mish, the first baseman, hits third. Clay Burdett will hit fourth. He's the right fielder, followed by Nolan Tucker, the second baseman. Aiden Anderson, who was the home run leader last year in the Big East, in center field. He hits sixth. In the 7 hole, it's Jason Jellick, the catcher, Isaac Waxman, the big power threat for the Musketeers, down in the 8-hole today. And then Luke Hammond, the third baseman from Indian Hill High School here in Cincinnati, will round it out for Xavier. Caden Pfeffer is the pitcher for the Miami RedHawks. Comes in with a 4.60 ERA. No record yet. This is his 9th appearance, first start. He's gone 15 2/3, 12 hits, 8 runs all earned. He's walked 7, struck out 13. Opponents hitting .218 against him.
St. Cloud University transfer out of Racine, Wisconsin, and Union Grove High School.
Yeah, kicking it, it's interesting to see how some of these transfers, where they've come from,
Yes.
some of these community colleges, different areas, some of them you haven't heard of, but that doesn't mean they're not great baseball players.
Yeah, a lot of California, Minnesota.
Jake Lambden standing in for the Xavier Musketeers. Jake's from Rancho Santa Margarita, California.
Yeah, I saw that, and that's got to be the longest named city in the country.
It's elegant. Where are you from, Jake? Well, I'm from Rancho Santa Margarita, California, of course. He's ahead 2-0 here, and Pfeffer comes inside, picks up a strike, 2-1. Lambden in with a 274 average. This is at bat number 118. He's driven in 13, walked 27 times, struck out 25. On base percentage at .741. He sends this one right up the middle, and the Musketeers have a base runner in the bottom of the first. Lambden, good shot.
Yeah, Pfeffer came inside on 2-0. Lambden took it, but he wasn't going to get beat again, and he got a fastball where he liked it, hit it back up the middle, and now Xavier has an early base runner, that's what you need to dig into that 4-0 deficit.
Lambden is 4 for 5 in stolen bases. Billy O'Connor is a kind of coach that will put a lot of pressure on defenses. He likes to take advantage of the traffic he has on the base paths. See if he does something here with Lambden down 4, trying to answer back here against a big Miami attack. This is Carter Hendrickson for the Musketeers, probably Xavier's best contact hitter, 277 for the campaign. Connor's been hit 16 times this season. He's taking them for the team. And Xavier was out on the road. They were playing out at Stanford. They were playing LSU. They were playing Tennessee. So you're getting hit by some of the best in the business.
Yeah.
That's got to feel a little bit better.
You got to have something against them.
1-1 count.
2023 Big East All-Tournament team for Hendrickson. Hit .303 last season.
Lefty Pfeffer throws over. Lambden back. This Park 320 down the lines, 385 to the gaps, 400 out to straightaway center. See the big batter's eye. That'll add a little bit of intrigue to any ball hit to straightaway center. And Hendrickson knocks this one out into the gap. Musketeers, 2 hits to start their half of the first.
Give me a bloop and a blast and get Xavier right back in this one. Going one base at a time now, but they've got the potential coming up here to take one over the fence and get back.
Here comes Connor Missa Jr., 6'3", 220s from Dyer, Indiana, Lake Central High School. Comes to this at bat with a 298 average. Connor Missa hit 2 home runs in the Butler series. The second one was on Sunday afternoon, and if you're familiar with Hayden Field, that's Xavier's home field. It's cozy, 310 down the lines, 355 to the gaps. Connor Missa had absolute no doubter down the right field line, and the Height Champion Center, it's kind of the training center and some of the coaches' offices. It was on top of that building. So Mish got a hold of it. It's a good power threat. He's driven in 24 so far this season. And Pfeffer comes in low. It's 2-0. It's another element to this Xavier team. We've seen some very disciplined at-bats, some long at-bats for the Musketeers. They'll protect when they're behind in the count. Really have helped elongate some of the pitch counts for the opposing pitchers. Ball misses up and out. 3. Misha's walked 23 times so far this season. It's 3-14 with runners in position, trying to cash in here. Takes a fastball at 81.
pitchers putting the hitters in a lot of advantageous positions here for both teams. Really generous counts, so let's see if Mish can take advantage.
See Mish a little bit of an open stance. Mish thought he had ball 4. It was called a ball upstairs. Or strike upstairs, excuse me. Counts full.
Dangerous spot for 72 miles an hour, but he got away with it.
Payoff from Pfeffer. Runners go, and Mish fouls it back. There's a little bit of the aggressiveness for Billy O'Connor. And part of that strategy is playing in Ohio, in the Midwest, at this time of year. You could have a 70-degree day. You could have a 55-degree day. You could have a 40-degree day, whatever we are today. But some of that contact hitting is necessary in some of these colder conditions. Lambden back safely at second.
Every time I see one of those timing picks to second, I always just get nervous because I've seen the ball fly into center field too many times, but that was pretty well executed.
They can be adventurous. Nobody out. Missed the number 3 hitter. Here comes the 3-2 again. Runners again go, and now the ball taken inside, and the bases are loaded. For Clay Burdett coming to the plate. Burdett in the 4th hole today. Billy O'Connor for the Xavier Musketeers talking about how Clay Burdett hits the baseball. He's some of the hardest contact he's seen in his career. And Burdett, an interesting story, from Moeller High School here in Cincinnati. Went to Ohio State, didn't appear in a game last year, transfers in here to Xavier and settled in nicely out in right field. They hit him down in the 7-6 hole to start the season. Now with that contact, he's moved up into the 4 hole. Rips one out into center field. Coming home to score is Jake Lambden. Carter Hendrickson with good speed going to come across to score from second, and it's 4-2 Musketeers. Clay Burdett stings one out into the gap, and Burdett picks up yet another double on the campaign.
Yeah, another example of a pitcher being forced to challenge a batter, and against the 4 hole, Burdett jumps on the fastball early, drives in 2 runs, and now, like I said, Xavier right back in it, get some runners in scoring position and get them in, and now second and third, still no outs with a lefty coming up, and Nolan Tucker.
That was Burdett's 6th double of the campaign, raises his RBI total to 21. Now here's Nolan Tucker, who's been an interesting addition here for the Xavier Musketeers. He started his career at Valparaiso. He fouls one off the first base line. All conference at Valparaiso, goes to Southern Miss last season and appeared in 15 games, had 3 hits in 28 at-bats, transfers back out and comes back closer to home here for the Xavier Musketeers. And he has filled a nice gap at second base. Xavier graduated, of course, Jared Cushing, one of their best all-time steady hitters in the program's history. And Tucker comes in and is into this at-bat with a .371 average. He's driven in 12.
Yeah, 16 starts, so about started half the game Xavier's played, but really, really good production from the sample size that we've seen, and he really piqued my interest when I was looking at Xavier ahead of this game.
He's got good power to the right center field alley. And, of course, as I say that, he shaves one off down the third baseline.
An academic weapon, too. A lot of all-academic, all-scholar athlete awards through his college career, so taking care of business on the field and in the classroom.
I like the academic weapon. That's fantastic. Sharpen the pencils, so to speak. 1-2 here to Tucker. See how well he protects here against Pfeffer, trying to get the first out of this inning. Musketeers already with 2 across. Striking the outside portion of the plate, and the first strikeout there for Pfeffer. Nice answer for the RedHawks.
Yeah, can't really get caught looking in that situation with runners on second and third. Got to put something in play and see if anything can happen. But Pfeffer makes a dent, gets the first out of the inning. Now he's got to face another righty with the base open. So let's see how he kind of manages Aiden Anderson.
So here's Aiden Anderson, 234 for the season. He's knocked in 18 5 doubles, 5 home runs. I mentioned last year, Aiden did a nice job in the power categories for the Xavier Musketeers. Led the Big East, 18 home runs on the campaign. Slugging percentage was .641.
He went after it on the first pitch. He was trying to do some damage.
0-1 from Caden Pfeffer, and the ball misses outside. 1-1. So this beautiful park, just a little more roomy than what you see at Hayden Field. One from Pfeffer, and that one misses outside. Aiden Anderson has walked 18 times so far this season. He hits .333 with runners in position. Here comes the 2-1. Ball is lifted on the infield. Circling under it over there at third and pulling it in. Actually, it was the shortstop. Baker brought it down. And there's 2 down now. So Pfeffer, nice answer after giving up the 2 RBI single.
Yeah, another one where Anderson was trying to do some serious damage. Just got underneath it a little bit. Pfeffer, generous pitch to Anderson. Might have gotten a little lucky there, but that happens in baseball, and he got an out.
Here's Jason Jellick. He's a transfer in from Wake Tech, which is right around Wake Forest down there in North Carolina. Swinging a nice bat for the Musketeers. .275 for the season, 19 RBI. And he replaces one of the stalwarts in Xavier program history, Matt Dupre, who was a 4-year catcher for the Musketeers. That has been a very consistent position for Xavier through the years. They've got a lot of production offensively and some solid defense out of the catching positions. Ball misses. And it counts 2-0 here to Jellick.
Yeah, hit .352 at Wake Tech with 13 home runs, 59 RBIs, so definitely has the ability to leave the yard.
Lefty on lefty matchup, and that ball misses in at the belt. 3-0. I think Caden Pfeffer knows about some of that power potential. Trying to keep it in on the hands here to Jellick. On the outside corner. Good placement there from Pfeffer to come back and get the first strike, 3-1. Long look in. Ball upstairs, tipped into the glove, and the count goes full.
Good job by David Novak to hold on to that one.
Jellick awaits the 3-2. Ball on the outside portion, and he walked. I look pretty close from up here. We are on the left-handed batter's box side. And it was right in the spot where they called that outside strike. Now here comes Isaac Waxman for the Xavier Musketeers. And Waxman can do some damage. Xavier's home run leader was 7 so far. He's driven in 22. The average at 179, and that was after a .330 year a season ago. Of course, Xavier against some of the best pitching in the country. Asked Billy O'Connor if they were giving Waxman just some different pitches. He wasn't seeing it as many good ones as he saw in the previous season, just due to his numbers from last year and a little less protection in the lineup. But he said, no, I just think he's just hadn't found his rhythm early. So Waxman trying to work his way back, hit a 3-run home run against Butler in the weekend series. Ball misses outside. Counts it 1-1. 2 down here. Bases full of Musketeers. Waxman hits .237 with 2 down and .217 with runners in position. Swing and a miss outside portion. Nice placement there at 78 for Pfeffer.
Yeah, miss out in front like that will really get a batter thinking. And in my experience, faced with a 1-2 count after a swing like that, my mind's racing a little bit too much. Got to simplify.
Check swing. Did he go? They call him out. Good placement by Pfeffer. He gets out of the bases loaded jam. Great answer for the RedHawks. Musketeers do get 2 in the first. And after 1, Miami leads it 4-2.
Will shows up, starts small and digs in. Will builds connections where others create barriers. Will resolves to grow beyond doubt, to be more than the sum of our setbacks. Will finds a way forward because it's not just what we do, it's who we are. Your vision, our purpose. Together, we will.
Back at beautiful Prasco Park, game 1 of the Joe Nuxhall Classic. Xavier Musketeers and Miami RedHawks off to a hot start. Miami scored 4 in the top of the first. Musketeers came back with 2. It's 4 runs on 3 hits so far for Miami's. They come to the plate for the second time, and the Musketeers got 2 runs on 3 hits in their half of the inning, but left the bases loaded.
Yeah, really good job by Pfeffer to work out of it. Kind of a similar situation to what Chronister had in the first inning, but able to make some pitches, even had some tough misses that loaded the bases, but able to gut it out and only give up 2.
Drew Phillips, the number 8 hitter in this Miami lineup, number 7 hitter, stands in to lead off the second inning for the RedHawks. Ashton Chronister back out for another inning of work after some early action in the Musketeer bullpen. Chronister's thrown now 26 pitches, 16 of them for strikes.
Phillips, a freshman out of Illinois, hasn't had a hit in 5 straight games, so a bit of a struggle. Looking to get out of that now.
Chronister, long, rangy lefty, fires in a breaking pitch at 78. Chronister settled down after Miami got those 4 runs. He did inherit 2 left-handed hitters right after the big RBI shot. Another breaking pitch, swung on and missed, and Chronister's ahead 1-2.
Yeah, you saw the first swing and miss, kind of pulled his head really, really out in front. There's no reason to change anything. Goes back with another off-speed pitch in a similar spot, gets the same result.
I think it's because 2 people are using the same.
Chronister misses there. Count goes to 2-2.
After those 2 bad swings, if I'm Phillips, I'm choking up, putting something in play.
Chronister fires and ball off his foot. Count stays where it is. Swing and a miss, and Chronister picks up his second strikeout to open up the Miami second.
Phillips swings through 3 off-speed pitches. Just really couldn't adjust or find anything there. And Chronister gets a first out of the inning. Definitely a better start than the last inning for him.
Brings Blake Buzzio to the plate. He's the number 8 hitter here in this lineup. So check that. He's in a 9-hole, so it'll be back to the top of the lineup and Dylan Baker.
Buzzio out of St. Edward High School, played football there, and if you know St. Ed football, it's a powerhouse. So good athlete.
Chronister misses low. Counts at 2-0. Buzzio, a senior. Cronster comes in with a 84-mile-an-hour fastball. Last season, 31 games for Buzzio, 24 starts. Drove in 9. This ball popped up into shallow center field. Ranging back is Nolan Tucker. Makes the play, and there's one down.
Good communication between
Or 2 down. Sorry.
Xavier, shortstop, and second baseman, able to make that play. And Buzzio just cast it a little bit, got a little bit out in front on that one. And way to go for Chronister to be able to bounce back from that first inning, fill up the zone, and get 2 straight outs. Now back to the top of the lineup, which did damage.
So here's Baker, the leadoff hitter, singled. His first time up to open up the proceedings for a 4-run Miami top of the first. And Chronister comes in with a breaking pitch for a strike, 73 miles an hour there on that offering. Chronister ahead, 0-1. Chronister delivers low and in. Count goes to 1-1.
That curveball's been working this inning. Wouldn't be afraid to just go back to that. See if you can either get some soft contact or get some swings and misses.
Delivers low again. 2-1.
Baker out of Tampa, Florida. Probably wishes he was back home right now.
I think it's at least, we're in a press box here, which is nice that we're covered.
Mm-hmm.
But it's at least 5-10 degrees warmer out there in the sunshine.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
Hopefully.
Chronister delivers, and it counts at 2-2. Nobody on, 2 down for the Miami leadoff hitter. Swing and a miss. Chronister shuts down the inning. So after getting touched up for 4, comes back with a scoreless second for the Musketeers. Ashton Chronister settling in. It's 4-2. RedHawks. Musketeers coming to bat in the bottom of the second. Back with you for the second year at beautiful Prasco Park. Game 1 of the Joe Nuxhall Classic. Miami RedHawks leading 4-2. Musketeers got 2 in the bottom of the frame, trying to do that at least here and even this ball game back up. Caden Pfeffer back out for another inning of work here for the Miami RedHawks. Pfeffer's longest outings of the season came early, February 16 at Charleston Southern. He went 3 innings, gave up a run, it was earned, struck out 2, walked 2, faced 12 batters. And then he faced Wright State on February the 25th. That was a home game. Went 3 innings, 4 hits, 4 runs. They were earned. Walked 2, struck out 4. Faced 15 batters in that outing through 65 pitches. That was the most he's thrown so far this season. So a chance to get a little length here today for Caden Pfeffer with a 2-run advantage as the Musketeers come to the plate here for the second time. Luke Hammond will lead it off, the Xavier third baseman and number 9 hitter this afternoon. Hammond in with a 243 average. We mentioned a lot of Cincinnati talent in this field here the next 2 days. Luke Hammond, one of them from Indian Hill. Ball inside. Actually, this is a new pitcher. It's Charlie Deeruff. So much for distance for Caden Pfeffer. He did throw a good inning, though.
Second most pitches of the season through 30. Now Charlie Deeruff out of Covington Catholic in Hebron, Kentucky. Freshman, 6'1", 210 pounds, right-hander.
So Deeruff in with a 7.2 ERA. No record yet. He's gone 10 innings so far this season. 9 hits, 8 runs all earned. Walked 3, struck out 6. So it'll be a bullpen day here today for the RedHawks and Brian Smiley, the head coach.
As long as you're making those changes in between innings and not during the innings, that's when it gets hairy.
Again, it's challenging here in these midweekers, especially in this particular field, with some opportunity out there to pick up RPI and work on your strength of schedule.
Yeah.
But you want to concentrate on your conference series as well, and that's really the main focus. And the weekend series is coming up for the RedHawks, back in conference. And you're in first place in your conference, so that adds into it as well.
Hammond started all 56 games at third base for Xavier last season, which is an impressive feat you don't see very often.
Ball misses up and in. So there's some good veteran presence here in this Musketeer lineup. You mentioned Luke Hammond, one of them. Started his career in Arizona State and transferred back. "3-2". Ball launched out into center field. Easy play for the first out of the inning.
Textbook there from Miami center fielder. Anthony Zarlingo took that first step back, came in and made the play. I've seen so many people get burned on those. Come in, goes over your head, take too many steps back, and then it falls in front of you. But a good play there to get the first out of the inning on kind of an in-between ball.
Back to the top of the lineup. This is Jake Lambden for the Musketeers. Singled his last time up. Came around to score. Lambden into this at bat with a .280 average. And a little high music there from Deeruff. Right around the chin for Jake Lambden. Lambden last year played a little bit of short, a little bit of third, a little bit of second for the Musketeers, and was also a closer. He's got a great fastball. Haven't seen him in that role yet this season, at least at home. Ball fouled back.
91 at the chin will wake anybody up. So if he wasn't alive before that one, he's alive now.
Can smell the seams, nice leather, screaming past your nostrils on a crisp day here in Prasco. Deeruff stands in, hammers a fastball. It's off the fist. Lambden with good speed is going to have a chance to beat it. No play for the second baseman, Buzzio. And Jake Lambden, a fortunate base hit for the Musketeers. Hey, they all count.
Yeah, Miami's pitcher's probably going to hear from the middle infielders in between innings say, hey, just don't touch it. Let us try to make the plays. Because just kind of half went at it thinking he had a chance and then might have made an impact on ultimately being able to get an out.
Yeah, Lambden fought that one off the hands and then used the speed to beat out the throw from Buzzio. So here's Carter Hendrickson. Ball's going to get away from Novak behind the plate, and Lambden going to move to second. So runner in position now for Carter Hendrickson.
Those inside off-speed pitches can be kind of tough for catchers. Didn't look like it was a miscommunication there, just kind of a lack of attention from Novak, and hits off the side of the glove, and now Xavier has a runner in scoring position.
Deeruff checks back. Lambden, good lead. Hendrickson fouls off an inside pitch into the Xavier dugout. Counts at 1-1. Lambden, good speed from second, so anything Hendrickson can do as he lifts this ball out in the area of Zarlingo. Zarlingo going to go all the way back to the track. Great chance for Lambden to tag and advance, and he will, so Hendrickson moves the runner.
Good piece of hitting. carried a little bit, but again, Zarlingo just making the technique play, checking the wall, getting under the ball, and making a good throw in. But Lambden's able to get to third. Now Xavier threatening, but 2 outs.
So here's Connor Mish. Mish hitting 182 with 2 down, but 314 with runners in position. This is bat number 105. Mish was hit by a pitch his first time. Lasers one down to first base. Great pick over there by Applewick. He'll make the play and end the inning. So a hard hit ball. Tough luck there for Connor Mish. Keeps Xavier off the board. Great play by Applewick over there at first, and that ends the inning. 4-2 RedHawks.
Okay, so when it comes to prescription drugs, why don't you have a choice? Yeah, sure, you've got brand name drugs, but those can get expensive. And then there's regular generics, which are safe and effective, but may not be exactly the same as brand name. Why don't you have another option? Meet authorized generics, a unique class of generic drugs approved by the FDA, identical to the brand name, and made of the same active and inactive ingredients as the brand name. Unlike regular generics, which are manufactured by a different company and often have different inactive ingredients, which could result in a different experience. Authorized generics are identical to brand name drugs because they're made with the same exact formula, most often made in the same exact manufacturing facility to give you the same exact texture, taste, size, smell, and feel as the brand name drugs. It's all legit and always FDA approved. Look, when it comes to what you take, you deserve a choice. And you have one. Ask your pharmacist if there's an authorized generic version of your prescription today. Identical to brand name, affordable to you. AuthorizedGenerics.com.
For the Xavier Musketeers here in the top of the third. Miami coming to bat with a 4-2 lead here at beautiful Prasco Park. Mike Schmaltz, Keegan Nickerson with you for Game 1 of the Joe Nuxhall Classic here on Chatterbox. We will have Game 2 for you as well tonight. Wright State and the Cincinnati Bearcats on a local baseball showcase. Fantastic day. Do expect a little rain tomorrow, but later in the day. So hopefully we get it all in. This event was rain shortened last year. And John Wiley to the hill now for the Xavier Musketeers, a 13.5 ERA. He's gone 10 2/3 innings, 16 hits, 16 runs. They're all earned. Walked 11, struck out 8. Opponents are hitting 197 against him.
3 innings against Wright State on April 1st.
Wiley came in against Butler on Sunday as this ball ripped for an inning opening single for the RedHawks. Good shot there by Batusic to lead it off and get the RedHawks back in business. They've had a runner in each inning so far.
It jumped on another early pitch. Batisic and Miami have been peppering that right field area so far today.
So Evan Applewick stands in, the number 3 hitter. Walked in, was stranded at second back in the first inning. And Wiley misses upstairs. Wiley, a little different look here from Ashton Cronister, who threw a lot of breaking pitches for the Musketeers, a left-hander. Now Wiley in as a righty. Picked up 2 strikeouts against Butler on Sunday and picked up a save. Ball lifted out into short center field. Long way to run for Aiden Anderson. He's going to get there to make the catch and hold Batusic at first.
Really, really good play by Aiden Anderson in center field, calling off his right fielder and able to reach up and get that one. I thought that was going to be down just how it was drifting, but a lot of range out there in center field.
That brings Anthony Zarlingo to the plate, number 4 hitter here for these RedHawks. 368 for the campaign. Batusic still at first, and now 1 down. Righty on lefty matchup. Wiley settles in from the stretch. Good fastball in for a strike, 81 miles an hour on that offering. So Wiley, another guy that can establish a case for more innings here for the Musketeers. You want to put him in a good leverage situation. Here's one. One down, runner on, and the number 4 hitter at the plate.
Zarlingo holds the career walk record at Southwest Tennessee Community College. So does good for power, also can get on other ways as well.
Breaking pitch misses in. It's 1-2. He's walked 34 times already this season. That is, we're in at bat 107. It's about a 33%. Now listen, I went to Ohio University. It's not Miami, okay? Public math, really not my strong suit, but I'm pretty close on that. Wiley winds, fires, good fastball. This is chopped over. Chance for a double play here for the Musketeers. Good turn from Lambden, and they call him out at first, and Connor Mish was able to hang on to the baseball. Nope, they're going to call him safe now. Thought Mish hung on just long enough to get the out at first. They're going to give Zarlingo the base over there at first. Pretty good play there. Nolan Tucker up the middle, a little backhanded flip over to Lambden. Lambden bounced one over to Mish, and I don't know if that got caught in the sort of the web side of the first baseman's glove, but he held it for a couple tenths of a second, but not long enough to get the out. So 2 down, 1 on. David Novak at the plate. Novak hit the big 3-run home run for Miami to spark that 4-run first. Wiley's behind 1-0. Ball misses low. Tried the outside corner of the plate there. 2-0.
Not giving him anything to hit so far this at-bat after that home run in the first at-bat that extended his hitting streak to 15 games. 2022 is first team All-MAC, hitting .370 with 7 home runs in 27 games.
10th home run of the season for Novak. Got the RBI total up to 36 for the season. He's walked 12 times as well. Ball bounced foul down the third base line. Counts at 2-1. Nolan Tucker, the Musketeers' second baseman, is playing on the shortstop side of the bag. Lambden is ranged over really almost straight away at short, and Hammond behind the bag at third. So if Novak can somehow fight one off into right field, he's going to run for a while. Wiley checks over. Zarlingo back safely. Zarlingo a good base runner, 6 for 7 in steals. 2-1 on away from Wiley. Ball launched out into left field. Second hit of the afternoon for Novak. And it's first and second now for the RedHawks with 2 down.
Miami's very close to making Connor Mish very, very angry that he couldn't hold on to that double play ball. So close to ending the inning, and now they're threatening.
Brings Ryan Novak to the plate. Got caught looking by Ashton Cronister his last time. It's 371 so far this season with runners in position, 326 for the campaign. He's driven in 29. First look at Wiley, however, and Wiley delivers 88 upstairs and out. It's 1-0. Long look back at second. Ball popped up out of play on the third base side. Count goes to 1-1 for Wiley.
A lot of aggressive hacks here from Miami.
Wiley's a freshman, 6'2", 170. He's from Ironton, Ohio. Tries the outside portion, missed. 2-1. Krepczynski set to follow. Then it'll be Phillips and Buzzio. Ball launched out into center field. That's going to hang up. Ranging back is Aiden Anderson. And just shy of the warning track, he'll haul it in and end the inning. RedHawks leave 2. And John Wiley in his first inning of work gets out of a little sticky situation for the Musketeers. 4-2 RedHawks. Musketeers coming about in the bottom of the third when we come back.
I'm going to go.
Back at Prasco Park, game 1 of the Joe Nuxhall Classic. 4-2 Miami RedHawks. 4 runs on 5 hits so far for the RedHawks. They've left 2. The Musketeers have scored 2 runs on 4 hits, and they've left 4. And Charlie Deeriff is back out for his second inning of work here for Miami.
Yeah, pitchers just needed to ease into this one. Obviously, Chronister got hit pretty hard in the first inning, came back out in the second and threw up a 0. Pfeffer also got hit pretty hard, but was able to work out of a pretty nasty jam with the bases loaded. And now both pitchers from both teams have thrown up 0s. So this could have a bit of a different feel for the next few innings compared to the first inning when we were thinking it was going to be a marathon 15-13 final, but sitting at 4-2 in the third.
There's still time, Keegan.
Still time.
You like offense. This is a pretty good part for it. Deeriff threw 14 pitches in his first inning, 8 of them for strikes. And Clay Burdett, the number 4 hitter, his first customer. Burdett doubled, 2 RBI style. Back in the first. So Musketeers entered that 4 spot in the top of the frame. Burdett 3-0-1 now for the campaign. Deeriff got a strike on the outside portion, 89 miles an hour. He's ahead 0-2.
And the left-handed hitters have to be looking at those flags in the batter's eye and just salivating because those are going straight out of center field.
Burdett slaps one off the screen in front of the Musketeer dugout, third base side. Count stays at 0-2. Burdett hits 400 in a leadoff spot in an inning this season. On base percentage at .395. This is at bat 104. 6 doubles, 6 home runs on the season. 0-2 is on the way. Burdett hammers this ball out into the left center field cap, and it'll get down. Burdett digging for second. He's going to try for third. He'll touch it. Throw coming in is well behind, and Clay Burdett, second extra base hit of the ball game, comes up with a triple to lead off the Musketeer third.
Great piece of hitting out in the gap. Ball carried a little bit, gave him a little bit of time to get the third, and he got there pretty easily. That's about as good of a start as you can get besides homering to an inning. So a really, really good piece of hitting there by
Clay Burdett.
Clay Burdett, yeah.
Ryan Novak, pretty good break on that from left field. just out of the reach. Clay Burdett was digging the entire way. Nolan Tucker slaps this one into left field. It's an RBI, and the Musketeers are down 1, 4-3. So 2 straight hits to open up the Musketeer third. And Xavier within 1.
Very quick start to the inning. You love keeping those runners on the base to put some pressure on the pitching and put some pressure on the defense.
Here's the Musketeers, Aiden Anderson. Anderson, the number 6 hitter, so middle of the order delivering here for the Musketeers in the third. Nobody out. One already across. Runner at first is Nolan Tucker. Deeroff breaking pitch to start off Anderson. Drops it in there for a strike. 76 on that breaker. Anderson with that big wide stance, low to the ground, draping the bat over his right shoulder. Ball up and in. Counts at 1-1. Deeroff 6'1", 210. Throws over to first. Nolan Tucker back safely.
Still a lot of time to settle in, get a double play, and flip the script of the inning.
Tucker 4 for 5 in stolen bases. Ball hammered right past the diving Baker at short. And the Musketeers have their third hit of the inning. Xavier going station to station here. Leadoff triple for Clay Burdett, singled in by Nolan Tucker. Now it's first and second after the Anderson single. And here comes Jason Jellick.
3 really, really well hit balls for Xavier so far this inning. Now you've got that lefty coming up, got some power, and he can change the shape of this game very, very quickly if he can get a ball he likes over the middle of the plate.
Jellick in at 276, 19 RBI. He's hit 3 home runs. Righty on lefty matchup. Deeroff comes in with a screaming fastball at 88 and missed upstairs. Isaac Waxman to follow, then Luke Hammond for the Musketeers, and it's back to the top of the lineup for Lambden. Breaking pitch misses up. 2-0. Ball fouled off the third base line. Nobody out, 2-0 count. Certainly don't want to run yourself out of an inning, but if you're going to start a runner, this would be a nice spot to do it. They stay put. Ball misses low.
Deeroff's working pretty quickly. Wouldn't mind to see him take a step a little bit, take some time, because he's in a position to have Xavier blow this one open.
Upstairs, took a little off that one. Actually, that was at 90, so Jellick swings through it. Good movement, though, from Deeroff.
And not exactly the 3-1 approach you want to have. Not a very tight or compact swing at all.
Here comes the payoff from Deeroff. Foul down the third base line. We've seen a little bit of the Musketeer characteristics for this group. Good contact hitters and able to protect the plate. Sustain some longer at bats. Jellick in a good battle here with Charlie Deeroff. Three-two again. Takes it on the inside portion of the plate, a strikeout. And Deeroff, big at bat there, comes back with a hammer for strike 3.
Really, really good battle there from Deeroff. Was in the 3-1, got a good swing and a miss, and then gets the strikeout looking. Now he's got an out and double play situation again, so one pitch away from getting out of this jam.
Great spot for the first strikeout for Deeroff of the ball game. Musketeers staying in now with Isaac Waxman. Waxman struck out back in the first. Struck out 42 times against 17 walks so far this season. It's 182 with runners on base and 213 with runners in position. Again, a slow start to the season for Waxman. Got a couple doubles in the Butler series, 3-run home run. You just hope that rhythm for Billy O'Connor just catches on here for this Musketeer team. Good spot for it. And Waxman fouls one off the third base side.
Centennial, Colorado native out of Regis Jesuit High School.
Yeah, Waxman battled knee injuries last season, in and out of the lineup. Ball lifted out into right field. Circling under it is Phillips. He will make the catch, and runners will stay put. They did draw the throw in. So Deer gets another big out here with Waxman, 2 down, and runners still at first and second.
Third baseman, Luke Hammond.
So here's Luke Hammond for the Musketeers. Number 9 hitter this afternoon. Luke flew out to center his first time. Musketeers starting off this inning. Triple from Clay Burdett, followed up with a single by Nolan Tucker, who's out at second. And it was a single from Aiden Anderson, and Deeriff has settled down since. Ball misses in.
He thought about sticking that elbow out there a little bit to try to draw the hit by pitch, but a little bit late, kind of an awkward attempt.
Little wheel throw back to second base, Tucker in.
That was a close one. Caught him a little bit off guard just based on the timing of the pick, but able to get back.
Hammond does have that elbow guard on, but look, 88-90, I'm not sticking my elbow out for that. I love my team, though. Here comes the 1-0. Breaking pitch misses out. The idea, Keegan, is you're supposed to make an effort to get out of the way, right? Not necessarily in the way. Back again for Tucker. That one almost slid through to center field. Nice play by Buzzio with the backhand. Had to catch that behind Tucker on the shortstop side of the bag. 2-0 again. Ball is shaved off in the right field. Has a chance to get down. It will. Coming around to score is Nolan Tucker. Digging for second base is Luke Hammond. Musketeers are going to try to score. Aiden Anderson, now he's caught up in a pickle. Anderson back to third, and he'll be out. And that will end the inning. So a little dramatic flair to the inning, but the run scores before the out. So the Musketeers pick up 2 runs here in the inning, and we're tied at 4.
Will shows up, starts small and digs in. Will builds connections where others create barriers. Will resolves to grow beyond doubt, to be more than the sum of our setbacks. Will finds a way forward because it's not just what we do, it's who we are. Your vision, our purpose. Together, we will.
Gorgeous day at Prasco Park for Game 1 of the Joe Nuxhall Classic. John Wiley coming back out for another inning of work here for the Xavier Musketeers. Xavier tied it up with a 2-spot in their half of the third. And Miami, which scored 4 in the first, trying to score for the first time since. Wiley's thrown 16 pitches to this point, 9 strikes. He's faced 5 batters.
On that last play, it was Aiden Anderson coming around third and just hesitated a little bit, and it ended up costing him. And you've got to be fully committed if you're going to try to score on a bloop down the line from first base. But the outfield was playing out towards center. The right fielder was playing out towards center, so there was a chance for it.
Dominic Krupczynski leads off the inning here for the RedHawks, 3:03 for the campaign. Grounded out to Connor Mish, the first baseman, his last time. And he's ahead 2-0 here. Foul back, 2-1. Keegan, we were talking about that base running play, and it was a bloop into right field, right? So you know that the right fielder is going to have extra to get there. It's going to have to cover more ground. And that would probably make you want to commit more coming around third base. So a little bit strange that Aiden Anderson pulled up there, and he was about 3/4 of the way down the line.
Yeah.
3-1 as Wiley missed inside on that last offering. And now a walk here at Krupczynski. Brings Drew Phillips to the plate, number 8 hitter. Miami trying to cycle it back around to the top.
Phillips really struggled with the off speed in his last at bat, going through a hitless streak. So let's see how they approach him here. But wouldn't be surprised if they attack him with fastballs after the leadoff walk, trying to get a double play, just get something in the zone.
Struck out in the second. He's hitting 118 for the campaign, trying to lay one down, move somebody over, and foul ball, 0-1. Krupczynski, one of the better base stealers for the RedHawks, 4 for 6 on the season. Just behind the leader is Zarlingo with 6. Check over there from Wiley, and they almost got him. That would be the A move. Wiley going to try it again. I will give that the perhaps C move. Krupczynski back in safely.
Yeah, Krupczynski looks like he's thinking about going.
You get your leadoff runner on, tie ball game. Jelic, back pick. And Krupczynski again back safely. Phillips again squared to bunt.
Miami's third base coach looked at Krupczynski and kind of gave a 2 hands to the ground, calm down. Maybe they're trying to deke Xavier into a stolen base, but
I think somebody down in the 8 position in lineup can handle the bat well. Be a good bunter.
On that back pick that Jelic had, he had Krupczynski going towards second a little bit. You just got to fire that thing down there. Another hesitation move might have cost Xavier.
Counts 1-1.
That's not good.
Phillips lifts this one into the air. Connor Mish hustling in, going to make the play right in front of the Miami dugout. Well executed there by the Musketeers defensively.
Second baseman.
Phillips retired, and that brings Buzzio to the plate.
You never want the ball to go up in the air on a bunt. Pretty good rule of thumb. Very easy out. Avoided disaster without a double play, but just not what the coaching staff wanted there from Phillips.
Check back over. Krupczynski back safely again. Buzzio popped up to the second baseman, Nolan Tucker, his first time. 1 on, 1 out. Ball lifted well foul down the right field line. Wiley brought that in there at 87 miles an hour. He's shown a nice array of speed. Still keeping an eye on Krupczynski at first. Fastball. That one missed outside. Saw Jelic there kind of set up on the outside portion of the plate, then sort of leaned back in, tried to frame it for a strike.
Yeah, it was a little bit of an overcorrection. If you just framed it on the outside corner, you might have been able to get the call, but when you try to pull it back so much toward the middle, the umpire's not really going to give you that.
1-1 is lifted out into short right field. Aiden Anderson, good jump, going to eat it up from center field for the Musketeers, and there's 2 down.
Top of the lineup here, but Miami wanted Dylan Baker to be hitting with someone on second, which is why that Phillips bunt is so hurtful for the RedHawks. Now you got to force it second.
Baker 1 for 2 today, singled in the first, struck out in the second. And Wiley a little chance to show this Musketeer staff a bit of resilience in a leverage situation. Ball outside, great job by Jelic. Saw that one was going to land short. It landed in the front portion of the left-handed batter's box, and Jelic was on it early.
Jelic's been doing a very, very good job of blocking, showing a lot of effort, a lot of quick reaction.
Another throw over there for Batusic. Baker standing in at 319. It's 467, however, with 2 outs. Wiley again checks over. Krupczynski getting a good workout over there at first.
He has 4 stolen bases on the season, which, I mean, it's kind of a threat, but I don't know if it's worth something around 9 pickoffs from what we've seen since he got on first.
Takes a little jump off, and Wiley, not distracted, comes in with a nice fastball. That one swung on and missed, counts at 1-1. 81 on that offering from Wiley. 2 down, 1 on for the leadoff hitter, Dylan Baker for the RedHawks. Trying to break this 4-4 tie. Off speed outside, swinging a miss.
A pretty bad swing on the fastball, and then another one on the off speed. And like I said before, mine might be racing a little bit, choke up a few inches, just try to put something in play, move the runners around.
Wiley ahead 1-2, trying to put the threat away. Here in the 4th, steps off. Wiley going to try it again. Krupczynski back safely. Musketeers thought he might have got tagged on the hip there before he made contact with the base. How many throws over there is that? 6, 8?
It's more than, it has to be more than 6.
That's a full set of push-ups.
Yeah.
I'll say that. Here comes a 1-2. Fastball swung on and missed. Wiley shuts it down. Big time throw there from John Wiley. His first strikeout ends the RedHawk 4th. RedHawks leave a runner. We're tied at 4. Musketeers coming to bat in the bottom of the frame. Chatterbox Sports coverage of the Joe Nuxhall Classic continuing here. Good one in our first game. Wright State and Cincinnati will follow. 4-4. Musketeers coming to bat here in the bottom of the fourth inning with the leadoff hitter Jake Lambden. 4 runs, 5 hits for the RedHawks. They took a 4-2 lead after 1. They've been scoreless since. Musketeers scored 2 in the first and 2 in the third. 8 hits so far for Xavier. They left 5, however. Lambden stands in. He's 2 for 2 with a couple of singles.
Seen a lot of inside near 90 to Lambden so far today. Doesn't seem like it's phasing him with that 2 for 2.
Good fastball. Taken for a strike. It's 2-1. Charlie Deeriff back out for a third inning of work here for the RedHawks. He's now thrown 38 pitches and 23 for strikes. Little warning there, I believe, to the RedHawk dugout. Deeriff sets for the 2-1. Ball is lifted on the infield. Easy play over there at first for Applewick.
Yeah, I'm confused about Lambden kind of showing bunt as a distraction there on a 2-0 count, and then kind of getting an inside fastball on 2-1 and popping it up. That 2-0 pitch is my favorite pitch I ever faced in my career, because you're knowing you're going to get a fastball in a cylinder if he makes the right pitch. So very, very confused by that, especially from a good hitter in the leadoff position. But now Miami has an out.
Comes Carter Hendrickson back to the plate for the Musketeers. 1 for 2 today. He squares the bunt, pulls it back, and takes a ball, 1-0. Keegan, I hit number 9 for the entirety of my career. I was a second baseman, probably about 4'2", 68 pounds, and all I saw were fastballs in a cylinder. So when I squared the bunt, man, I'm in business.
Yeah.
There wasn't any pulling it back. We were trying to get on base. Number 9, also the second leadoff hitter. I've held that in my heart for my baseball career, too. Hendrickson bounces this one off the third base side. It's 1-2.
2-1, I believe. I'm confused. The umpire was gesturing something. I think he might have called the wrong call on the bunt attempt, maybe.
It is 2-1. Correct. Your sets fastball is popped up, and it'll drift out of play on the third base side. Now it's 2-2. Hendrickson singled in the first, flew out to center field, back in the second, averaging a 281. 2-2 away from Deeriff. Ball lifted out into short right field. Phillips ranging over, going to make a nice running play in the gap, and that retires Carter Hendrickson 2 down.
Yeah, great piece of hitting right field, but Miami's right fielder chases it down and makes a great, great running play. That's a tough play to make. Now Miami has 2 outs, and they're looking to get out of this inning rather quickly.
Connor Mitch standing in. Mitch was hit by a pitch in the first and then grounded out to the first baseman, Applewick, his last time up in the second. So Deeriff trying to make this a quiet, efficient inning here for the RedHawks. Comes in with a fastball that's down in the zone for a strike, 0-1. Mitch down 296 for the campaign. It's 176 with 2 outs. Breaking pitch. Nice change of pace there for Deeriff. Drops in for a strike.
Pretty big leg kick. Really power approach here from Mish.
So the full portfolio open here for Deeriff. Winds, fires, fouled back for Mish. He stays alive. Still 0-2.
I like that attack on 0-2 with 2 outs. Don't put yourself in a position to walk somebody and then the inning extends. Go at him. Try to get him out quickly as possible, but I'd expect an off-speed pitch here.
Fastball. Misses just out. 1-2. On the way to Mish. Ball slapped over to short. Good job there by Baker. Shuttles over to Applewhite, and that will end the inning. Nice efficient inning there for Charlie Deeruff. Shuts down the Musketeers, and we stay tied at 4-4 here at beautiful Prasco Park.
Okay, so when it comes to prescription drugs, why don't you have a choice? Yeah, sure, you've got brand name drugs, but those can get expensive. And then there's regular generics, which are safe and effective, but may not be exactly the same as brand name. Why don't you have another option? Meet authorized generics, a unique class of generic drugs approved by the FDA, identical to the brand name, and made of the same active and inactive ingredients as the brand name. Unlike regular generics, which are manufactured by a different company and often have different inactive ingredients, which could result in a different experience. Authorized generics are identical to brand name drugs because they're made with the same exact formula, most often made in the same exact manufacturing facility to give you the same exact texture, taste, size, smell, and feel as the brand name drugs. It's all legit and always FDA approved. Look, when it comes to what you take, you deserve a choice. And you have one. Ask your pharmacist if there's an authorized generic version of your prescription today. Identical to brand name, affordable to you. AuthorizedGenerics.com.
Back at Prasco Park, Joe Nuxhall Classic. Good one here between the Miami RedHawks and Xavier Musketeers. 4-4. Top of the fifth coming your way here on Chatterbox Sports. Mike Schmaltz, Keegan Nickerson with you. John Wiley back out on the mound for the Xavier Musketeers. His first customer is going to be Ty Petusic. Petusic singled his last time up into third.
Each reliever doing a pretty good job. It'd be interesting to see this turn in the fifth inning, how they continue, because you don't see relievers on really either team go past 3 innings pitched. So this will be a big sequence.
Wiley into this at bat, he's thrown 21 pitches. This is his 10th hitter. He's thrown 17 for strikes. Good velocity there. He comes in for a first pitch strike. It's 0-1. That one misses up. 1-1. Good placement inside corner, but a little too far inside. 2-1. Wiley from the stretch. Ball fouled off down the third base line. Petusic stays alive. Fastball up and in. And the count goes full. Good aggressive pitch there from Wiley. Trying to get a jam job here. Ball shaved off into left field, but Carter Henderson playing shallow. And that one eyed up well. A little analytics play there for the Musketeers. And Wiley gets the first out.
Really good piece of hitting. Went down in the zone, went after it, especially in a 2-2 count to get that good of contact. But unfortunately, baseball is a cruel game sometimes, and some of your best contact can go straight at opposing fielders.
Evan Applewick stands in now. Number 3 hitter here for the RedHawks this afternoon. Walked with stranded at second to first. The only time he's reached. This ball down to third. Hammond going to make the play. Good shuttle over to Connor Mish, who had to stretch out towards the right field side of the bag to make the play. And 2 down.
Yeah, it looked like Mish made a little bit of extra effort to make sure that that ball was in the glove after dropping the double play ball about 2 innings ago. He wasn't going to have that happen again. And 2 very, very quick outs, and John Wiley is dealing, and it's been a lot of fun to watch.
Anthony Zarlingo now stands in. Reached on what they called an error from the second baseman Nolan Tucker on that double play attempt. Zarlingo did single in the first and an RBI as part of that 4-run first. Miami's been shut down since, however. 4 runs, 5 hits, however, for the RedHawks. They've left 3. Zarlingo trying to reach for the second time here against John Wiley. Hammers this ball up the middle. Nice solid single. Miami has its first base runner of the 5th.
Hit it back where it comes from. Zarlingo put a great piece on that. Now we've got a dangerous runner at first base. Miami with a chance to do something with 2 outs.
Brings up the number 5 hitter, David Novak. Novak into this at bat with a .331 average. Hits .238 with 2 down.
Number 29.
And .324 with runners on base.
This will be a big hitter for Wiley. Obviously, Applewick, very, very talented. Had the 3-run home run in the first. Now with 2 outs, his day can kind of go either direction here if he gets Applewick out or if he can give up something in the gap.
Novak 6'2", 205. He's from Zionsville, Indiana. And Wiley comes in and misses with a ball. Novak's driven in 36 so far this season. Fastball hammered into the Musketeer dugout, and some folks were scrambling there.
He's got a really, really short swing, a powerful approach.
Counts at 1-1. Checks over to first base. Novak last year hit .279 for the RedHawks. 58 hits, 15 doubles, 7 home runs. Knocked in 41. Ball upstairs from Wiley. Two-one on the way. Upstairs fastball swung on and missed.
Very, very competitive pitch there from Wiley. Now sitting at 2-2 with a big, big chance here to throw up another 0 for Xavier.
Wiley going to check back over.
A lot of 2-strike, 2-out pickoffs from a lot of these pitchers, especially from Xavier.
Just trying to stay loose out there. Lingo over at first. Kind of a chilly day. Maybe he's testing breaking pitches, kind of going over there. 2-2 again. Trying to break one off. Didn't get a lot of spin on it, and it stayed up.
It's a great way to make an enemy out of your first baseman.
Kind of miss a big guy. 6'3", 220. He can take it. Wiley sets again for the payoff. Here comes the 3-2. Ball up in the zone. It is popped up, and Hammond's going to have a chance here inside the baseline, and Hammond, a little tricky wind, negotiates that, and that shuts down the threat from the RedHawks. RedHawks go scoreless in the top of the 5th. Xavier coming to bat. We're still even at 4.
So hot, I'm a fever, yeah, like the white wolf. But I'm cold.
Good pitcher's duel brewing here between the freshman John Wiley from Xavier and Charlie Dira, the freshman for the RedHawks, who's back out on the mound in a 4-4 ball game. Musketeers coming about here in the bottom of the 5th. The future of the program's out there, Keegan. Dira's gone 3 innings so far, 5 hits, 2 runs they were both earned. He struck out 1, hasn't walked anybody. 49 pitches, 31 strikes. And upcoming here is his 14th hitter. And it's Clay Burdett. Burdett having a day. Double, 2 RBIs in the first, triple to lead off the third, and he was knocked in by Nolan Tucker, and that's the last time the Musketeers crossed the plate. 2 for Xavier in the first, 2 in the third. 4 runs, 8 hits so far for the Musketeers. They have left 5. And if you're thinking about perhaps hitting for the cycle, the hard part's out of the way. That's the triple.
Yeah. Still got a lot of time, got a favorable wind to get the home run out of the way.
Burnett now the average up to 308. Shaves one off, and that one just fouled down the first base line.
Yeah, as you mentioned before, really, really good pitcher's duel brewing between the 2 relief pitchers. And anytime your pitcher's taken out after only 1 inning, it's not a very positive outlook on the rest of the game. But Diriff has done a great, great job kind of bouncing back.
Good fastball there from Diriff, and he's gone low in the zone effectively here this afternoon. That one at 89 miles an hour, in for a strike. 1-2. So they didn't list the umpires for us today, but I have identified Jay Myers. He's a Cincinnati native. He is behind the plate. Ball outside. Count evens at 2-2. Burdett is 6'2", 220. Sort of that linebacker build. Launches this ball out into shallow right field. Long run over there for Phillips, but he's going to get there in time to make the catch. That ball hung up there quite a bit, and almost looked for a moment Phillips wasn't going to get over there in time.
Yeah, a little windy. You saw the Xavier third baseman kind of have trouble with that pop-up, and he made a really, really good play to end that inning because that looked like it was going to land in fair territory.
So that brings Nolan Tucker to the plate. Had the RBI and it tied the ball game back into third. Struck out looking in the first. He gets his second look here at Diriff, who delivers a nice fastball outside, 89 miles an hour, strike 1.
Looks like we got a bat issue.
So Nolan Tucker gonna
need some spray on pine tar.
Go back to the pine tar. Little adhesive. Little chilly here today. Gotta feel nice again in the sun. So we haven't seen sun. I know that Miami was up at Bowling Green last weekend, and that was a cloudy affair. It was very cloudy, filtered sunshine at best at Hayden Field for Xavier. It's got to feel very good to get out here on a sunny day at beautiful Prasco Park.
I think someone's stopping an at-bat to put pine tar on. That might be a first for me. I don't know if I've seen that before. Now the pressure's on because he's gotta get it here.
Tucker fouls that back. Good fastball upstairs. Counts at 1-2. Off-speed pitch. This one tapped over to short. Good play on a first, and there's 2 down.
Really, really good play there. The ball kind of stuck in the palm of the glove. You see that kind of get jarred loose every now and then, but he was able to make a good running throw, stick with the ball, and retire Tucker.
Yeah, those can be tricky, and this is natural surface here, so the ball's going to grab a little bit if it's spinning at all, and it can really take some speed off it. So nice job by Drew Phillips on that last play to get the out over to Applewick. Aiden Anderson stands in with 2 down.
Both pitchers throwing with a lot of confidence right now. So if a hitter can go up there and get a piece of one, maybe put it over the fence, it might change a lot of things.
Anderson, a candidate to do that for the Musketeers in the 6-hole, gets underneath this one. Krupczynski's going to wait on it to come down and wait a while, and the ball's going to fall. And Anderson running effectively from first. He's in with a double. So we saw the wind in the last inning give the Musketeer third baseman Luke Hammond a little trouble. That ball was hit a mile high, and Krupczynski was waiting on it to come down and perhaps lost it in the sun.
And props to Anderson, just never stopped running. And when you hit a pop-up like that with 2 outs, it can kind of just be, oh, well, the inning's over. Let's just not go too far so I can get back in the dugout quickly. But, you know, he was running full speed. And for the Miami third baseman, you kind of got to know the direction the wind's blowing and then kind of automatically adjust when you see that ball go up, knowing that it's going to go left a few feet, kind of similar to what catchers have to do. And you saw it pay off for Xavier there.
They did call that an error for Dominic Krupczynski. Still opportunistic here for the Musketeers in a 4-4 ball game. Brings Jason Jellick to the plate.
Now if you're Krupczynski, you're thinking, man, if he gives up a hit here and gives up a run, I'm going to, well, now they're taking him out. Yeah. So the error kind of leads to Dira leaving the game, and a stellar outing from Dira after Pfeffer kind of struggled.
Yeah, Charlie Dira delivered 60 pitches, 39 strikes. And we'll have a pitching change here for the Miami RedHawks. We'll take a break. We'll come.
Will shows up, starts small and digs in. Will builds connections where others create barriers. Will resolves to grow beyond doubt, to be more than the sum of our setbacks. Will finds a way forward because it's not just what we do, it's who we are. Your vision, our purpose. Together, we will.
Left-hander Nick DeMonica, the third pitcher of the day for the Miami RedHawks, will come in with a runner at second base. That's Aiden Anderson for the Xavier Musketeers. DeMonica's 6 foot. He's out of Cortland, Ohio, Lakeview High School. He's a senior. His last outing, he went 1 inning against the Butler Bulldogs back on the 26th of March. Walked 1, struck out 2. Didn't give up a run through 20 pitches to 4 batters.
15 appearances in 2022. Didn't see any action in 2023. Have to assume it was an injury. And then a CSC academic all-district and academic all-MAC recognition in 2024. 22 appearances and 6 starts.
He's thrown 3 innings so far this season. 5 hits, 6 runs are all earned. Walked 4, struck out 5, giving up 3 doubles and a home run. And Jason Jellick trying to cash in here on the Red Hawk air that put Aiden Anderson at second base. Ball was popped up on the infield. Krupczynski, we assume, lost it in the sun. Ball was a mile high from Aiden Anderson, who hustled it out and legged it out to second to give the Musketeers an opportunity here. 1-0's DeModica comes in and misses outside. It's 2-0.
Well-placed pitch there. Just barely missed, but went with the lefty-on-lefty off-speed.
Jellick this season has driven in 19. It's 294 with runners in position. Fastball is up. And it's 3-0. Jellick's walked 20 times. Struck out 35.
Walk doesn't kill you with the base open, but with Walksman on deck, you know has the power to kill a lefty. You don't want it to happen.
This ball popped up again on the infield. Little challenge there. Baker ranging out, giving way to Novak, who hauls it in and ends the inning. So the run doesn't sting the Miami RedHawks. Musketeers lead the go-ahead run at second base. And through 5, we're still tied at 4 here at beautiful Prasco Park.
All right, we're back again with some trivia.
Game 1 of the Joe Nuxhall Classic marches on as we move into the top of the 6th inning. 4-4 here between the Miami RedHawks and Xavier Musketeers. Miami coming to bat. They scored 4 in the first, and they've been held off the board since by John Wiley, the freshman here for the Musketeers, who's back out for another inning of work, his 4th. So far, 3 hits, a strikeout, and a walk. He's faced 13 batters, thrown 46 pitches in 25 for strikes. Ashton Chronister, the starter for the Musketeers, went 2 innings. Gave up the 4 runs, 3 hits. He threw 40 pitches to 10 batters. And Ryan Novak going to be the first customer here for Wiley in the top of the 6th. 0 for 2 so far today. Strikeout in the first and a fly out to center field back in the 3rd. So this effectively the 2nd time through here for Wiley for this Miami windup. We'll see if they've got him timed up just a little bit better. First pitch was fouled off. It's 0-1. Ball inside. Still good velocity. That one at 86 miles an hour for Wiley. From the stretch, good pitch on the inside corner. Counts at 1-2. High fastball. Taken just above the letters. 2-2.
Novak searching for something specific here. Be thinking about breaking the tie.
2-2 on the way. Ball on the hands. Shortstop Jake Lambden over. Makes a tough off-balance throw over to Connor Mish, and there's one down.
Another really, really good play. A lot of stuff can happen on those short hops. Can turn the wrong direction, but Lambden made the play and got rid of it very, very quickly and gets the first out of the inning. And it looked like Novak was trying to do some damage at that swing, just barely missed.
Got it in on the hand, so nice placement there from Wiley to hold down the powerful Novak. Now Krupczynski stands in and promptly fouls one down the first base line.
Looked like either a cutter or a slider at 80 miles an hour. Tried to sneak it back. Krupczynski was just a little bit early.
Dominic walked his last time up in the fourth. Grounded out to Connor, missed the first baseman back in the first. Good strike in the inside portion. 0-2.
I love the soft and hard back-to-back to start an at-bat.
Wiley again from the stretch, misses inside and low. Here comes a 1-2. Swung on and missed off-speed pitch, and Wiley comes up with a strikeout for out number 2.
Such an awesome sequence. Goes off speed first pitch, and then just puts a fastball right over the middle, and then a great changeup it looked like. Got him reaching for it.
Second strikeout here for Wiley against one walk through 3 2/3. Brings up Drew Phillips, number 8 hitter. 0 for 2 so far today. Phillips last time popped out to the first baseman Connor Mish on a bunt attempt, just trying to move a runner. Phillips struck out back in the second. Wiley pumps one in there at 86 miles an hour. It's fouled off down the first base line.
Yeah, he's looking to redeem himself a little bit. 2 pretty bad plate appearances. Had the multiple misses on off speed in the first one, and then bunts up in the air to a pop out in the second. So can get something started here with 2 outs.
Wiley fastball picks up the outside corner. 1-2. Ball fouled off again. Good job by Phillips to protect upstairs. Trying to get it to the number 9 hitter, Blake Busby, and then back to the top for Dylan Baker. So far in the middle of this lineup here, it's Arlingo and Novak for Miami, 4 for 6. Dylan Baker, the leadoff hitter, is 1 for 3, and that's been most of the production here. Ball taken on the outside portion of the plate. Third strikeout for John Wiley, the Musketeer freshman. Ends at the top of the 6th for the Miami RedHawks. Musketeers going to come to bat here in the bottom of the frame, trying to break a 4-4 tie here in the Joe Nuxhall Classic. Matt Harajli on now to pitch for the Miami RedHawks. 6'4", 245, a right-hander. It's a redshirt senior from Dearborn, Michigan. Transfer in from Michigan, so former Wolverine. On to be pitcher number 4 of the afternoon here for the Miami RedHawks.
A lot of IMG Academy players here today. Basically a Division I factory down there in Florida.
Rodsley's gone 7 2/3, 14 hits, 17 runs, 16 of them earned. He's walked 14, struck out 10, giving up a double, 2 triples, and 2 home runs so far this season. ERA is at 18.78.
Bottom 6 for the Musketeers.
First customer for Rodsley is Isaac Waxman. Waxman at DH today in the number 8 position for the Musketeers. 0 for 2 so far. Strikeout and a fly out to right field. Rodsley, big delivery. That is an impressive presence out there on the mound. We talked about it. A couple of players here for both sides. Clay Burdett, a linebacker build for the Musketeers. Rodsley, definitely an offensive lineman. Perhaps defensive end.
Yeah, defensive end.
Want to go there?
Yeah. Maybe a long snapper.
He's behind 2-0 here to Waxman. And fastball misses outside. That one in there at 91. So for Rodsley, using the leverage there from the big body.
Works very quickly out of the stretch despite no one on base.
And he walks Isaac Waxman. So the Musketeers have the go-ahead run at first. Here in the bottom of the 6th.
Leadoff 4-pitch walk. There are no worse results for a relief pitcher in his first batter.
So here comes Luke Hammond. He doubled his last time. Picked up an RBI. 1 for 2 so far today. Flew out to center his first time up. This is his first look at Rodsley. Hammond squares the bunt, pulls it back, takes the ball upstairs. Hammond squares again, pulls it back, and again a ball inside. So 6 straight balls now for Rodsley out of the bullpen.
Not sure where that one missed from our vantage point. Looked like it was in there, but 2-0 nonetheless, and that's 6 straight balls.
Rodsley holds. Hammond pulls back this time and called a strike on the outside corner.
Maybe a bit of a makeup call. It didn't look like Hammond liked that one.
Another fastball misses.
Don't have to bunt if he's going to let you go freely.
Counts at 3-1. So you're trying to build some traffic. Nobody out. First runner reached there. Waxman on 4 straight pitches, a walk. Hammond going to square again. Will not offer. Ball taken outside, and 2 straight walks here for Rodsley to open up the Musketeers' 6th.
9 pitches, 8 balls. This is where you have to simplify. You got the top of the order coming up, and it doesn't look like they're going to let him get further than the 2 batters he's going to face.
So a visit here. This could be pitching coach Larry Scully. Out to chat with Rodsley. He's trying to settle him down. Come in, got some, obviously some great velocity. He's painted the corner a couple times here. But now he's put himself in a hole here, 1st and 2nd in a tie ball game. With nobody out in the top of the Xavier lineup coming up. Top of the lineup in effective here for the Musketeers. Between Lambden and Carter Hendrickson, the number 2 hitter. They are 3 for 6 and a couple of runs scored. Clay Burdett for the Musketeers in the 4th position, 2 for 3 with 2 RBI today. Lambden squares the bunt, makes contact, fouls it back to the screen.
Xavier's going to keep on bunting, and we know Lambden isn't afraid of the high velocity. He's seen it near his chin about 3 times today. Now Lambden's someone, if he can lay one down, he can reach. Doesn't have to necessarily be a sacrifice.
Reached his first 2 time on solid singles and takes a strike. Now Rodsley dialing in. He's ahead 0-2. Isaac Walksman, the runner at second. Luke Hammond, the runner at first, both walked. Lambden sends this one out into right field. Phillips is under it. It's going to spin and get the throw back to second base, but it's going to allow Walksman to tag and make it to third. Hammond stayed at first. So Lambden gets enough on it to move a runner. Now the go-ahead run is at third base for the Musketeers. And here's Carter Hendrickson.
Good things happen when you throw strikes. Got Lambden out of the bunting mindset, just popped him up the right field. Now you have the opportunity for a double play as Novak signals a first and third play.
One down, runners at the corners for Carter Hendrickson. It's 3:16 with runners on base and 2:35 with runners in position. He's driven in 21, takes an outside ball. 1-0. See that shadow starting to creep up now on home plate. Shouldn't affect anything visually now, but maybe by the end of the 7th, 8th inning, it's going to be covered up. Hendrickson checks swing, fouls it off. Rodsley resets here. Counts it 1-1. Hendrickson singled in the first, was retired in the second and the fourth. Ball upstairs.
Really active from Hendrickson. He wants to swing. Had the foul, then that's a near check swing. I like the approach and the mindset, trying to be aggressive.
Here comes the 2-1. Ball foul back. Evens the count at 2-2 for Carter Hendrickson. Carter, a senior from Farmington, Minnesota. Pitch misses outside. Advantage Hendrickson.
Be interesting to see if Xavier puts some runners in motion here.
Full count, bases open at second. And Hendrickson watches the ball go outside, and he'll walk. So Hendrickson reaches after a long at bat. And Rodsley has walked his third. One down, bases loaded, and here comes the first baseman, Connor Mish. Mish 0 for 2 today. He is hitting .292. With the bases loaded, he hits 1,000. And with runners in position, 306.
It'll give you a pretty good chance.
That ball in there at 90 miles an hour for a strike. Good movement on it from Rodsley. Mish yet to reach today. He was hit by a pitch. Actually, he did reach in the first. He was hit by a pitch, but yet to reach via the hit. Fastball fouled off down the first baseline, and Rodsley ahead 0-2. Musketeers are 5 for 14 today with runners on base. High fastball retires Mish, and Rodsley comes right after the Musketeer three-hitter and knocks him down on strikes.
Nothing to lose for Rodsley. You're kind of stuck between a rock and the hard place, and the only way to get out is to throw some competitive pitches, and that's what he did against Mish. Chance to get out of the inning after what could have been a really bad one here.
First strikeout for Rodsley at a great time. 2 down now for the Musketeers, and Clay Burdett standing in. Burdett, 2 RBI double in the first, a triple in the third. He's retired his last time. Will fly out to right field. Rodsley comes in and misses 1-0.
Burdett, a Cincinnati native, Moeller High School alum, played for Midland. So he's Cincinnati born and bred with his baseball career. Won a state championship with Moeller as well.
Ball comes in for a strike. And it's 1-1. Two down. Burdett trying to deliver in a big spot here for the Musketeers in a tie ball game. Rodgley outside portion of the plate. Burdett fouls it off the first base line. So Burdett being from Moeller and playing for Midland, probably familiar with this park. I'm sure he's logged a few innings here at Prasco. Former Ohio State Buckeye. Just there a year, did not see action last season. Coming in here, he's got the average of 305 for the Musketeers. Ball is chopped down to third baseline and foul. Nice play there made by Joey Bellini, the third base coach for the Musketeers, a former Cincinnati Bearcat shortstop. No fear with the bare hand there for Joey Bellini. Rodgley looks into Novak. Long wait. Ball on the outside portion, taking a strike. Clay Burdett can't believe it. Rodgley gets out of the jam. 2 straight strikeouts after he walked 3 in the inning. Musketeers leave them loaded. And we are tied at 4 as we go to the top of the 7th here at the Joe Nuxhall Classic. Third Musketeer pitcher of the afternoon is Jack Noby, another freshman for Xavier, 6'3", 190 pounds. He's from Washington, Missouri. And Jack Noby coming into this appearance with a 3.9 ERA, a record of 2-1. This is his 11th appearance. He has made a start. He's gone 27 2/3, 23 hits, 13 runs, 12 earned, 13 walks against 18 strikeouts. Opponents are hitting .235 against him. So Noby coming on in relief. A solid outing here for the other Musketeer freshman of the day. That was John Wiley. Wiley went 4 innings, 3 hits, no runs, struck out 3, walked 1, faced 16 batters, threw 60 pitches, 35 for strikes. So a day for the freshman here at Prasco Park in a midweek special. Freshman Charlie Dira for Miami's gone the longest of the Miami staff today. He went 3 2/3. 5 hits, 2 runs, both earned. Struck out 1, didn't walk anybody. 16 batters, threw 60 pitches. Rodgley needed 26 to get out of that last inning. So here's Noby. Big time fastball at 85, misses well outside.
Noby had a 1.04 ERA in high school, 67 innings pitched with 101 strikeouts his senior year.
Noby winds, fires another fastball at 85. In for a strike, 1-1. Noby's last outing was against Butler, April the 4th. He went 2 innings. Swing and a miss, took a little off that one. Blake Buzzio, the number 9 hitter, now behind 1-2. Fuzio stays alive, tips one off the end of the bat. There'll be 2 innings against Butler on the 4th. A hit, a run, it was earned. Ball is knocked down into right field. Circling under it is Clay Burdett. 1 down for the RedHawks here in the top of the 7th.
Aiden Anderson went all the way over there just to give his right fielder a high five. So what a good teammate. Not exactly necessary.
Trying to stay loose.
From the backup over there, yeah. But
Anderson going to run now all the way over to the 400 mark over there in left center now. So leadoff hitter Dylan Baker back up 1 for 3 afternoon so far for Dylan. Single to lead off the game. Struck out in the 2nd and a 4th. Ball slapped right at Jake Lambden, the shortstop. Up over to Connor Mish, quickly 2 down. So Nobe coming in, throwing some heat, throwing to contact, and he's got 2 quick outs. Nobe's longest outing of the season went 5 innings on a road trip at Liberty. Just 1 hit. Struck out 4, walked 2. Ball with a little movement, misses outside. That went at 83, so the fastball about 85, the off-speed stuff at 81 for Nobe. Another fastball, misses just out, 2-0.
like to see some aggressiveness in this 2-0 count.
Batusic through the hole there. Hammond was shaded over towards shortstop, and Batusic is digging for 2. Carter Henderson going to make the throw into third base. It is a stand-up double for Ty Batusic. It's his 10th double of the season. A lot of room down that left field line and took it.
You'd think that ball might have some backspin on it and kick up a little bit going down the left field line, but it just continued to roll. Easy double for Batusic.
So an opportunity here in the top of the 7th, 2 down. Now, Applewood coming on. Reached in the first on a walk and retired in the 3rd and the 5th. And Applewood's first look at Nobe is a ball low, 1-0. RedHawks today 3 for 11 with runners on base. They're 2 for 3, however, with runners in position. Nobody missed there. It's 2-0. Applewick has walked 30 times so far this season against 26 strikeouts, and Nobe falls behind now 3-0.
Went with the first pitch off speed and then hasn't been able to get back in the zone since. And I wouldn't be against just kind of letting Applewick take first, knowing his prowess as a hitter, and then moving on to the on-deck circle.
Ball misses out, 4 straight balls to Applewick, and he picks up a walk. Brings Anthony Zarlingo, the number 4 hitter, to the plate. The RedHawks in business. 2 quick outs here for Nobe in his first inning of work, and now the RedHawks battling back. Sparked by the double by Ty Batusic. So righty on lefty matchup here. Zarlingo looks at a first pitch fastball for a strike.
Big deal to get that first pitch in there for a strike after the 4-pitch walk. Now you can work from there and have some confidence.
Runner at second is Batusic. Applewick at first after the walk. Ball misses out. And it's 1-1. Let's get another test for a young Musketeer arm here. Top of the 7th, 4-4 here between the Musketeers and RedHawks. Ball misses in. Two and one now. Advantage Zarlingo. It's 295 with 2 outs and 429 with runners in position this season. Nobi checks back to second. Fastball is outside corner for a strike. 2-2. Two down here. Go ahead run at second. Zarlingo's going to have to protect on anything close, and that was not close at all from Nobi. Came over to the top of that and missed it well up and out. Count goes full. Zarlingo 2 for 3 today. Pitch misses low, and now the base is full. So Nobi running into trouble after retiring the first 2 batters of the inning. Nobi walks his second batter, and visit here from Doug Wiley, the pitching coach for the Musketeers.
Great at bat there by Zarlingo. Now puts Miami in a good position with David Novak, coming up. Had the home run in the first inning, hitting well over 300 on the season.
So Doug Wiley, the Musketeer pitching coach, out to talk to his freshman. Nobi got 2 outs with 4 pitches. Then a double from Ty Batusic, and then walks now to Evan Applewick and Anthony Zarlingo. I got to deal with David Novak. Novak, the number 5 hitter here for the RedHawks this afternoon. 3-run home run in the first, singled in the third. Retiring his last time. Popped out in foul territory down the third baseline to Luke Hammond.
You never want to have the bases loaded as a pitcher, but it does give you a chance to simplify. You only have a few options to work with, so.
Nobi evens the count 1-1 on a fastball outside. Put that one in there at 89. Don't want to leave one up here to David Novak. It's going to go a long way. Nobi delivers outside portion, and Novak couldn't quite catch up with it. Foul ball. 1-2 now. All right, Keegan, you take a little off here?
I don't know. I'm willing to go with the fastball here if I'm Nobi. Something on the inside part.
Nobi delivers, breaking pitch. It's launched in the center field. Aiden Anderson's going to catch it, and the Musketeers are out of trouble, and they hold Miami off the board in the top of the 7th. RedHawks leave them loaded. Xavier dodges a big-time threat from Miami. We'll stretch it out here at the Joe Nuxhall Classic. Musketeers coming to bat in a 4-4 ball game when we come back.
Okay, so when it comes to prescription drugs, why don't you have a choice? Yeah, sure, you've got brand name drugs, but those can get expensive. And then there's regular generics, which are safe and effective, but may not be exactly the same as brand name. Why don't you have another option? Meet authorized generics, a unique class of generic drugs approved by the FDA, identical to the brand name, and made of the same active and inactive ingredients as the brand name. Unlike regular generics, which are manufactured by a different company and often have different inactive ingredients, which could result in a different experience. Authorized generics are identical to brand name drugs because they're made with the same exact formula, most often made in the same exact manufacturing facility to give you the same exact texture, taste, size, smell, and feel as the brand name drugs. It's all legit and always FDA approved. Look, when it comes to what you take, you deserve a choice. And you have one. Ask your pharmacist if there's an authorized generic version of your prescription today. Identical to brand name, affordable to you. AuthorizedGenerics.com.
Bottom of the 7th coming at you from Prasco Park. Joe Nuxhall Classic, 4-4 ball game. Miami's just left the bases loaded in the top of the 7th. Musketeers trying to capitalize, and there's the skipper. Billy O'Connor coming off his 200th career victory. It was 14-1 on Sunday. The Musketeers took care of their second Big East series of the season, a sweep of the Butler Bulldogs. Did that in 7 innings. That's a nice gift for your head coach to get number 200. You don't have to worry about it. You run ruled your opponent. Billy was able to get some bench players into the game. Nice afternoon. You end your head coach's day early. He gets number 200, and now you come out here to the Joe Nuxhall Classic. It's a pretty good week. Harajli back on for another inning of work. It was a little adventurous for Harajli, the 4th pitcher for Miami today. Harajli threw 26 pitches to 6 batters in the 6th.
He took the scenic route to throwing up a 0.
This is Nolan Tucker, who's lifted one out into right field. Ranging over and making the play for the first down for Miami was Phillips. 1 down. That's got to feel good for Harajli. 1 pitch, 1 out.
After that last inning, he probably didn't know if this still existed.
Here comes Aiden Anderson. Anderson reached in the 3rd inning with a single. He reached in the 5th inning on a pop-up that got lost in the sun. Krupczynski at 3rd camped under it, and the ball just trickled past his glove on the way down, and Anderson kept running and made it to second base, but he was stranded there. Anderson pops this one up into the air. This will be out of play on the 3rd base side. Bottom of 7, 1 down, 4-4 ball game. Game 1 today, setting the stage for Cincinnati Bearcats and Wright State Raiders coming up next. Harajli misses outside at 86.
Wouldn't mind seeing some off speed here. It looks like Anderson struggling a little bit.
Counts at 1-2. Anderson hammers this ball out into the gap in left center field. Anderson with good speed, going to take a turn at first. He's going to be in with a stand-up double. Aiden Anderson delivers his 6th double of the season, and the Musketeers in business with 1 down in the 7th.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and eat my words. He was all over that one. Got a middle cut pitch and hit it over the shortstop's head. So very, very good piece of hitting for Anderson. Now Xavier has a chance, 1 out with a runner on 2nd.
Now here comes Jason Jellick, and you see if we can get a shot at home plate. The shadow now creeping over the back quarter of home plate to see if that makes a difference here in the late innings. Anderson a good runner at 2nd, so anything Jellick can get it into the outfield likely advances Anderson. Either way, if it's deep enough for a tag, Anderson will take that opportunity. Jellick gets 286 this season with runners in position. He walked in the 1st, struck out in the 3rd, and flew out to left field his last time in the 5th. Harajli winds, fires, ball is lifted out into right field. It's going to be a long run over there for Phillips, and he'll watch it go foul. Fans starting to fill into the right field grandstand. It's a newer addition here at Prasco Park. Ball misses up and out. This is the main field here at Prasco. They've got a couple of practice fields, or really playable fields that they use for practice during these types of events behind us off the 3rd baseline. Just a beautiful complex. Ball foul back. Count goes to 2-2 here to Jellick. Harajli now settling in nicely. Isaac Waxman set to follow here if the Musketeers can extend the inning. Jellick fouls it back. Good battle here between Harajli and Jason Jellick. Transfer in from Wake Tech for the Musketeers.
Really, really like that back foot slider. That's a tough pitch to hit. It was something I struggled with in my career when the lefties would come in with 2 strikes. Looks like a fastball out of the hand, and then it just makes you look foolish.
Harajli long look into David Novak, the catcher. Fastball, foul back. Jellick just got enough of it. Jellick trying to deliver in a big spot here. He's driven in 19 so far this season. Check swing foul. Keep it at 2-2.
He's making contact up. He's making contact down. It's going to be tough to get something by him. We're almost going to have to get him looking.
Harajli again from the stretch. The battle continues at 2-2. Fouled off again. Two reset ball misses out, 3-2. So Harajli, see what he comes back with here. Got to get something close. Close enough for Jellick to foul it off again.
You're really racking your brain here if you're Harajli, thinking, what am I supposed to throw to this guy to get something past him? And it's almost like you throw your best fastball and just hope that it's soft contact, maybe go inside.
Here comes the 3-2. Breaking pitch, swung on and missed, and Harajli wins the battle. His 3rd strikeout sets down Jellick, and Jellick had a piece of it, but it was caught by David Novak, the catcher. Entertaining at bat there, and Harajli comes out on top.
Still no swing and miss, but Harajli will definitely take it. Great job by Novak to hold on. Those are the most rewarding strikeouts for catchers. It makes you feel like you contributed a little bit of something in order to get it.
So now it's up to Isaac Waxman with 2 down here in the Musketeers 7th. The runner at second base is Aiden Anderson. Anderson hit a solid double to the left field gap. First pitch swing. Ball is past the diving Baker. It's short. Anderson running the entire way, and the Musketeers have the lead. RBI, I believe they'll call that a single for Waxman. It was hit pretty hard, and Baker had to dive to the third base side, but he picks up an RBI, and Xavier's got a 5-4 lead.
Just the worst possible scenario for Baker, who just had the ball tip off his glove, trickled in the left field, and really gave the left fielder no play at the runner heading home. Just either have to field it or just let it go by and give yourself a chance somehow. But perfect situation for Xavier to get in a run. And, you know, after that long at bat, it's not a bad idea to jump on the first pitch on the next one.
Xavier's 10th hit of the afternoon. And Isaac Waxman delivers a big RBI for the Musketeers. Now Luke Hammond stands in, the number 9 hitter. 2 down, 1 across for Xavier here in the 7th. Hammond, ball diving out of the zone, swings and misses. Harajli comes right back. He's got a head 0-2. Hammond 1 for 2. He doubled back in the second, picked up an RBI. He's Knocked in 7 on the season.
It's really, really hard, but you can't have the body language be shown on the near misses to the umpire because it doesn't really make you any friends. It's not something where they see that and think, oh, maybe I'm going to give him a strike on this next close one.
1-2 is on the way. Hammond fouls it off. Hammond missed the first 12 games of the season. He had an injury to his hamate bone, which is at the base of the pinky. So battling back from that. Got the average now up to 250. Luke last year hit 290 for the Musketeers. 221 at bats. High fastball swung out and missed. Taradley gets Hammond on the strikeout, but not before. Isaac Waxman delivers an RBI single to break the tie. The Musketeers take a 5-4 lead into the top of the 8th.
All right, I'm a
Stage is set for my people, yeah. Coming back like a sequel, yeah. So hot, I'm a fever, yeah. Like the white wolf, gonna make you a believer, yeah. I'm running out straight pizza, yeah. Like I'm evil, Knievel, yeah. Too fast, it's illegal. Call me the underdog, gonna make you a believer, yeah. I don't ever wanna look back. The future's blurry, but the past is a trap. I might be staring at my last chance.
Watch the 3 fights.
But I'm cold-blooded. I'm cold-blooded. Ice in my veins, never gonna run. Venom on my face, fire on my tongue. I'm cold-blooded. It's all or nothing. If I go down, gonna burn with the sun. Won't quit now till I'm sitting on the throne. I'm cold-blooded.
Welcome back to the Joe Nuxhall Classic on Chatterbox Sports. 5-4 Musketeers. They took a 1-run lead on an RBI single from Isaac Waxman. And now it's in the hands of the Musketeer freshman Jack Noby on the mound. His first customer here in the top of the 8th is Ryan Novak, the left fielder. 0 for 3 so far today, but still in at .319 for the campaign. Noby on for a second inning of work. He threw 24 pitches to 6 batters. Didn't surrender a run. Noby comes in with a fastball. Missed there. It's 1-0. Ball inside misses. Now the shadow fully over home plate. Makes it a tricky situation. Ball comes out of the sun and into the shadows. Noby delivers. Fastball upstairs, fouled off.
I've had to deal with that a few times. And it's almost like when it gets out in that front grass part where you have a few feet for it to really, that's when it's horrible.
Noby misses well upstairs, and now it's 3-1. .28 walks so far this season for Ryan Novak. Ball inside portion, miss low, and a leadoff walk here for the RedHawks in the top of the 8th. Brings Dominic Krupczynski to the plate. He's 0 for 2 so far today. Grounded out to first base, back into first, walked into 4th, and struck out in the 5th. Check that 6th. Gets his first look here at Noby, and Noby comes in with a strike, 88 miles an hour. Little movement on that one.
That's a tough first pitch as a hitter. I see a cutter at 88 up in the zone.
See the runner at first there, Ryan Novak. Noby winds, fires, misses inside. Nice play by Jellick to corral that. That was in the dirt. and almost headed for the backstep.
Really, really good block by Jillick. That's a really tough one, especially at 83. You have to move your whole body to corral it.
Here comes the 1-1 from Nobi. Fastball low and inside for a strike 1 and 2. It's a short backstop here at Prasco Park. There are a couple angles to it as they come in from the third base side and first base side. So that could get a little tricky, but anything a fastball, say, off the direct facing is going to come back at you pretty quick. This ball is down the line and fair. Could be extra bases here. Krupczynski is into second with a double, and it's second and third now for the RedHawks.
You don't always have to hit it hard. That was maybe one of the softer hit balls we've had today, but ends up a double, and now Miami is in a really good spot to take a lead, not just tie it or score their first run since the first inning.
Krupczynski comes up with his 9th double of the season, and a great spot for it. And now here's a pinch hitter for the RedHawks. Tommy Harrison stands in. 169 so far for the season. This is his 60th at bat. And Nobi comes on the inside portion of a play for a strike.
This is where the will of your pitcher is tested. Put them in deep waters and see how they can come out of it.
Harrison's a catcher, utility player. Ball inside. Jelic again scrambled out in front of it. Dominic Krupczynski out at second base. Ryan Novak at third. And big Tommy Harrison, 6'3", 220, standing in the left-handed batter's box. Chance to tie this ball game. Swing up stairs and a fastball misses. It's 1-2.
If Jelic can get in the stat book offensively, he's going to be my player of the game. He's had some seriously impressive blocks, and that one that he just had 2 pitches ago is the biggest one of the day.
Harrison hitting 169 for the season. Swing and a miss on a fastball, and Nobi picks up a big-time out with runners at second and third. One down now for the RedHawks.
That one is 93, and that's basically Nobi just saying, you know what, here it is. If you can hit it, go ahead. And just blew it right past him. And now you have an out with the base open.
First strikeout for Nobi. That brings Buzzio back to the plate. Blake 0 for 3 so far today. Pitch out. At least it looked like one. Jelic sold it up there. Musketeers looking for a back pick down there at third on Ryan Novak.
Back pick with a runner on second and third with a righty in.
Aggressive,
yeah,
if you will.
That's
I'm not sure that was called. I think that was just that was a nice sell job there.
Yeah.
From Jason Jelic. So Buzzio's ahead 2-0 here. Nobi just bounced back with a huge strikeout to get the first down of the inning. Comes in with a nice fastball there at 91. 2-1. Buzzio 250 with runners in position, 302 with runners on base. 23 RBI so far this season. Off speed pitch is launched over the first base grandstands.
Do not have to do much. Just put the ball in play on the ground somewhere in the middle of the field. When you're the 9-hole hitter, don't have to impress people. The standards are pretty low. Just try to put the ball in play.
Here's the 2-2. Ball fouled back. Count will stay there.
92 and 40-degree weather is very, very impressive.
Don't want to hit that off the end of the bat. That's going to feel it all the way up to your shoulders. Big spot here for Buzzio. Go ahead and run it second. Breaking pitch misses, and Nobi gets aggressive there. Missed at 84 in the outside portion. Counts full. Important pitch coming up here for both sides. Nobi, the freshman, against Buzzy Young. Breaking pitch, foul back.
Very good approach from Buzzio, especially on that last pitch. Looking like he was intent on swinging, but just leaving it on the outside part of the plate for the off speed. And just missed that line drive right back to us.
Count stays full. Reset here. Nobi 3-2 again, fouled off. So Buzzio staying alive. Saw Jason Jelic put together a long at bat for the Musketeers. Ended in a strikeout. Nobi trying to do the same. Return the favor here against Buzzio, the senior.
Went off speed, and then fastball. I'm going to guess fastball again on this one. Going to do the same thing.
3-2 is on the way. Breaking pitch, and it misses. A walk for Buzzio, and that brings it back to the top of the lineup.
Shortstop,
Dylan Baker stepping in. 1 for 4 today with a .314 average for the season. Baker a chance to put Miami ahead. 1 down, bases full, and a big-time spot here for Jack Nobi. Nobi comes right in with a fastball, blows it past. 0-1. Baker singled in the first, struck out in the second and fourth, grounded out to shortstop his last time in the 7th. Double play looked pretty good here for the Musketeers, too. Nobi gets ahead 0-2 as that ball's found at the screen. Dylan Baker, redshirt senior. Battling against the Musketeer freshman on the hill. Nobi, breaking pitch up, fouled off.
Just really liking that off speed these last 2 batters. But if I'm him, I don't want to get to the meat of Miami's order. See if he can pump 93 past someone again.
0-2 again. Fastball. Good call by Keegan Nickerson, and that is a strikeout from Jack Nobi, his 2nd of the day. 2 down.
93 on the dot too. I think I've peaked for the day. I don't think I'm going to top that again.
Keegan, all gas, no brakes. Nickerson calls a fastball strikeout. Now it lands in the hands of Ty Batusic, 2 for 4 today. Batusic doubled his last time. And Nobi misses inside, 1-0. Single for Ty in the 3rd as well. Fastball back to the screen, evens the count at 1-1. Nobi, you like the poise here. He's got the bases loaded. Just came up with a strikeout, but he is coming right after these veteran Miami hitters. Fastball misses. Now the plate fully covered in shadow, and that shadow creeping out now over the right-handed batter's box. Fastball popped up into the air down the left field line. Could be trouble ranging over is Hendrickson. He's going to make the play, and the Musketeers are out of trouble. They protect the 1-run lead. Nobi pitches out of a bases-loaded jam, and Xavier dodges the threat here at the top of the 8th. Musketeers lead at 5-4. They're coming to bat in the bottom of the frame. Back at the Joe Nuxhall Classic here at Prasco Park, and a classic inning by Jack Noby, the freshman pitcher for the Xavier Musketeers. Came up huge in the top of the frame. Bases loaded. Noby comes in with a strikeout. Another strikeout, and then followed up by a pitch that was shaved off down the left field line, and he got some help from Carter Henderson, his left fielder, to pitch out of the bases loaded jam. Noby struck out 2 in both in the top of that inning. That'll get you the ball again from Billy O'Connor and Doug Willey, the pitching coach for the Xavier Musketeers. Ahmed Harajli back on. He is into his 3rd inning of work here for Miami. Trying to hold it down is both teams now have left 10 on base today. It's 4 runs, 8 hits so far for the RedHawks, 5 runs on 10 for the Musketeers. It's the leadoff hitter, Jake Lambden, for Xavier. Lambden off speed pitch, fouls it off, stays alive. He's behind 0-2. Lambden 2 singles today, and he's flew out his last 2 times in the 4th and the 6th. High fastball, and Harajli picks up the strikeout. That's his 5th.
He's really settled in after throwing, I think, 8 balls and 9 pitches to start his outing, giving up just 1 run. Now he's looking for some offensive support from Miami and looking to continue to get through the Xavier order.
Carter Hendrickson, the left fielder, just made that play to end the inning, running on a little bit of a flare toward the left field line. He had to go a fairly long way to get that ball, but kept Miami off the board. Trying to give Xavier a little insurance. Just get something started here in the 8th with 1 down. He's ahead 1-0.
Tough one.
Baker coming in from shortstop and can't make the play. That's the 2nd one today that's drifted out of the range of a RedHawk glove. Baker looked like he hit that one all the way. And the wind, which has been blowing out today, maybe had something to do with that one, but again, high sun here.
Yeah.
And it's especially as we get later in the day. What are we now, 5 o'clock? That sun gets lower, and it's a lot tougher to try to make those plays on the high balls.
Wind and sun, never a combination for catching a baseball that goes up in the air.
Unless you're on a beach somewhere, and we like that. So now an offensive timeout here for the Musketeers. They get a runner on in the form of Carter Hendrickson and Connor Mish, trying to capitalize here against the RedHawks. The Cincinnati Bearcats and Wright State Raiders will follow here on Chatterbox. Game 2 of the Joe Nuxhall Classic as we honor the local legend, Joe Nuxhall, the youngest ever to break into the major leagues at age 15. Of course, a longtime analyst for Reds Radio with Marty Brenneman. Home plate now fully in shadow. And a hitter is Connor Mish. Mish hit by a pitch in the 1st. It's the only time he's reached. He struck out his last time in the 6th. Runner at first is Carter Hendrickson. Breaks for 2nd. It's a hit and run. Well executed. Mish hit behind the runner. Hendrickson digging for 3rd. They're going to send him. Throw in from right is not in time, and Carter Hendrickson 1st to 3rd on a Connor Mish double down the line.
There's only one better spot to hit that ball, and it's to the right center field gap, but that's the next best one, right down the right field line. And he scores rather easily. Was a play at the plate, but safe easily, and just a great piece of hitting by Connor Mish. And now Xavier's up 2. They've got a little bit of comfort, a little bit of insurance going into the top of the 9th next inning.
Well executed hit and run here for the Xavier Musketeers. Mish scoring Carter Hendrickson all the way from first base, and that ball that got lost in the sun stings a little bit. So Xavier picks up the insurance run. Still some business to do here with one down. Connor Mish at second for the hitter Clay Burdett, who launches a ball up into the sun. This could be another adventure. Baker again with a little trouble, fights it off this time and able to pull it in.
You saw him take the few extra steps to his left. It was just enough this time, as he still had to make a pretty good effort.
Yeah, he's fighting. It's definitely sun out there, because you saw him throw that hand up in the air. He get the palm up. That's never a good sign from one of your fielders, but nice job to fight off the sun that time and make the out. So 2 down, runner still in position. Musketeers leading at 6-4. Owen Tucker, the Xavier hitter. 11 hits now for Xavier. Both teams have left 10. 2 errors for the RedHawks, 1 for Xavier today. Tucker fouls off a first pitch fastball. It's 0-1. Tucker from Cedar Lake, Indiana. That is just southwest of Valparaiso. Rodsley misses upstairs. .2023 at Valpo for Nolan Tucker. .298. Started 47 games, 8 doubles, a triple, 4 home runs. He knocked in 24. And went to Southern Miss last year, just 15 games. And makes his way back up north to Cincinnati. He was tremendous at Valparaiso. 2022 All MVC first team. As Keegan said a little earlier, an academic weapon. MVC scholar athlete first teamer. 2022 is college baseball newspaper all freshman team.
Very good defender as well, from everything I saw.
Trying to give the Musketeers a little extra cushion. Ball was driven out into left field, but playing shallow, coming on to make a nice play on a tailing ball was Zarlingo, and that will end the inning. So the RedHawks dodge a little extra threat. Musketeers get a big RBI single. They add to this lead at 6-4 Xavier. We come to the top of the 9th. Back at the Joe Nuxhall Classic here on Chatterbox. Musketeers trying to close out a 6-4 victory, potentially, over the Miami RedHawks. Miami still has something to say as they come to bat here in the top of the 9th. And Jack Noby going to have a chance to finish this one off for the Xavier Musketeers. Freshman has pitched out of trouble twice so far here today. Noby through 2 innings, 2 hits. Hasn't given up a run. 4 walks, 2 strikeouts, both of them very timely in the top of the 8th. He's faced 12 batters, thrown 54 pitches and 30 for strikes, and a chance here to finish off a very tough Miami team. And Evan Applewick is going to be his first customer here in the top of the 9th. He'll face Applewick, the number 3 hitter, Anthony Zarlingo, the 4 hitter, and David Novak, the 5 hitter. And Novak and Zarlingo have done the damage here today. They combined are 4 for 7. Applewick fouls off the first pitch, and it's 0-1. Stay tuned after the ball game. Justin Kinner will have our post-game show here on Chatterbox. We'll be back with you tomorrow for 2 games. Winners play winners. Losers play losers. Again, the time's 2 and 6 tomorrow. Nobody comes in with a strike for an 0-2 count. Cincinnati and Wright State to follow here around 6 o'clock. Fastball misses out. 1-2.
It's got to feel good if you're Billy O'Connor to have those 2 relievers come in and be able to give you so many innings, because these midweek games, as we touched on before, it's about getting people ready, getting some experience, but when you've got 2 guys that are going to go out there and fill the zone up, you're going to let them ride.
2-2 count now as nobody's missed on his last 2 offerings. Fastball is low, and now it's 3-2. So advantage Evan Applewood trying to reach for the 3rd time today. He's walked twice, first and the 7th. Noby fastball, chopped down to 3rd. Hammond has it on a 2nd hop over to Connor Mish, 1 down. Noby goes deep into a count again, comes out victorious. Now Anthony Zarlingo standing in here for the RedHawks. Good day today, 2 singles. 1 was an RBI in the first as Miami scored 4 in the first. They haven't scored since. Zarlingo singled back in the 5th, walked his last time in the 7th. Nobody missed on the first offering. Fastball is lifted out into left field, charging hard. Carter Hendrickson comes on and able to make the play. 2 down.
Outfielders on both teams have been tested a lot, and their cardio is being tested. They're having to run all over the field, catch some in-between balls, some balls deep in the gap near the warning track. But altogether, the outfield's had a good day. The infield has had a tough time catching the fly balls and the pop-ups.
And the wind has played some tricks on the infielders. We've seen it on both sides. And Miami got the worst of it with 2 balls that were popped up high in the air, got caught up in the sun, and both of them dropped for Musketeer base runners. Nobody came in for a first pitch strike, fouled back. This is David Novak. Novak had the 3-run home run on the first that put Miami up 4-0. Xavier answered with 2 in the bottom of the first, 2 in the 3rd, and 1 each in the 7th and 8th. Nobody fires on the outside portion and misses. It's 1-2. Novak's home run was his 10th today. He's got the RBI total now to 36. Ball foul back. Stays at 1-2. Ball foul back again. Novak stays alive. Musketeers got a Connor Mish double in the 8th that scored Carter Hendrickson from first base. And in the 7th, Isaac Waxman singled Aiden Anderson home. Those were the 2 really big insurance runs for Xavier in the late innings. Nobody's got the count at 2-2 to David Novak, the catcher. Fastball swung on and missed. It retires the side, and Noby seals it for the Xavier Musketeers. Timely hitting for the Musketeers in the 7th and 8th. Xavier takes a 6-4 victory over the RedHawks here in Game 1 of the Joe Nuxhall Classic. Musketeers moving to 19-14. The RedHawks now 17-15.
Yeah, 6-game winning streak now for Xavier, and really the pop-ups in the infield killed Miami a little bit, because Xavier gets their 6th run after the hit and run, and the only reason the runner was on first was because of the drop pop-up. But really, really impressive pitching from the relief guys, especially after the first few innings. But good on Xavier to extend the winning streak, and then Miami falls to 0-8 in midweek games.
The Musketeers get 7 combined innings from freshman John Wiley and Noby here to close it out. Wiley gets the win, Noby the save. Between them, they gave up 5 hits. They walked 5, struck out 6, faced 31 batters here for the Musketeers this afternoon, a combined 129 pitches between them, and more than 70 of those for strikes. So some nice statements here made by the Musketeer freshmen.
Absolutely, and just a whole staff effort, and to be able to come in after the rough start and do that, and especially to be in some tough positions. I think in his first or second inning, he faced second and third with no outs and was able to get out of it, and that's just really a gut punch to the opposition who's trying to make something happen late in the game.
So for the Musketeers, 6 runs on 11 hits, 1 error. They left 11. Miami, 4 runs on 8 hits, 2 errors. They left 10 on the afternoon. That wraps it up for Keegan Nickerson. I'm Mike Schmaltz for our Chatterbox crew. Thanks for watching here this afternoon. We're back with post-game coverage with Justin Kinner in just a moment here on Chatterbox. Game 2 coming up. It'll be the Cincinnati Bearcats and the Wright State Raiders.
The stage is set for my people, yeah. Coming back like a sequel, yeah. So hot, I'm a fever, yeah. Like the white wolf, gonna make you a believer, yeah. I'm running on straight pizza, yeah. Like I'm evil, Knievel, yeah. Too fast, it's illegal. Call me the underdog, gonna make you a believer, yeah. I don't ever wanna look back. The future's blurry, but the past is a trap. I might be staring at my life.
Watch the 3 fights.
But I'm cold-blooded. I'm cold-blooded. Ice in my veins, never gonna run. Venom on my face, fire on my tongue. I'm cold-blooded. It's all or nothing. If I go down, gonna burn with the sun. Won't quit down till I'm sitting on the throne. I'm cold-blooded.
Will shows up, starts small and digs in. Will builds connections where others create barriers. Will resolves to grow beyond doubt, to be more than the sum of our setbacks. Will finds a way forward because it's not just what we do, it's who we are. Your vision, our purpose. Together, we will.
Go ahead.
6-4 the final. The Xavier Musketeers take care of business over Miami of Ohio in Game 1 of the Joe Nuxhall Classic. And we welcome you in for a little post-game coverage. Bill O'Connor, head coach of the Xavier Musketeers, joining us along with Clay Burdett, who's given us a little bit of time. We appreciate you guys. That's a big win. Congratulations. You're not done. You got a big one tomorrow. But we'll focus on that coming up in a moment. Again, Xavier will take on the winner of Wright State and Cincinnati, which is coming up at 6 o'clock. Again, we'll start with you, Coach. 6-4 the final. Not the best start. You get down early for nothing. Now, I know you've been challenging yourselves all season long, so you kind of like adversity a little bit. Well, you had adversity right off the bat, down 4-0. What was the message early on to the team?
It's always just keep playing, you know. These games are long games, and I remember last year particularly, I think this early game was a 21-19 game or something, so you never know how it could go. You know, the ball can fly here sometimes. So we felt like we were still in it. We had to hold them, kind of shut them down offensively a little bit, and Ashton did a nice job settling in that second inning. Then John Wiley was awesome, you know. But the message is always just keep playing, just keep playing, just keep playing. You know, don't start pressing, don't start freaking out. Just play the next pitch, and things are going to work out.
It wasn't just being down 4-0 early. It's the fact that you guys did come back. You tie it up at 4, and then they get the bases loaded again. And I think one out, maybe no outs or whatever it was. But either way, your back's against the wall again, and you have to prevail. You guys did that. You don't give up any runs there, and you're able to come out and obviously get 2 runs late in that game. But it wasn't just being down 4-0. There were other moments where you guys had your back against the wall.
For sure. You know, Jack Noby created a little bit of traffic there in I think it was the 8th inning when they had second and third no outs and ended up loading the bases and worked his way out of it. You know, and Jack's a guy, he's a young pitcher for us. He's done a great job. He's been thrown into some really high leverage roles for us. He likes to cruise at 85, 87 usually when it's low leverage, and then when things get tight, he starts throwing 92, 93 and checking the scoreboard for his velo every pitch. But Jack's a competitor. You know, he's a guy we really trust in that situation, and obviously came through in a big role for us there.
Also with us up here again, 6-4 final. Xavier over Miami of Ohio. They'll take on the winner between Wright State and Cincinnati coming up tomorrow night, of course. Clay Burdett also giving us some time, 2 for 5, couple of RBIs. Big performance at the plate today. Similar question, from a player's perspective, you're down 4-0. How different is a player's perspective versus a coach's perspective? Does that change your approach at the plate? Explain kind of the day you had today. Obviously, big performance for you and a much-needed big performance being down as early as you were.
Yeah, no, I think just like Coach said, just keep playing. Nothing really changes at the plate or with our approach. We try and stick to it whether we're up 10, down 10, up 1, down 1. So, yeah, nothing really changes.
When you're down early like that, too, just from a leadership perspective, obviously you've had some big performances throughout the year. What's the message like amongst teammates when you're in the dugout?
Yeah, I think it's the same thing. Just keep playing till 27 outs. So we got down early, but we had 27 outs to work with, so just keep grinding at bats, keep the same approach.
And Coach, last thing, before we wrap this up, again, we appreciate your guys' time. A big win, come from behind win over Miami of Ohio. You know, tomorrow, you don't know who you're facing yet, but it's one of two. It's Wright State, Cincinnati. That's the big one coming up here tonight, and the winner will go on to face, your team tomorrow. You won it in 22. You won it in 23. We'll just say you would have won it last year. Why not? We'll just keep it going. But obviously, two good teams going head-to-head tonight. Talk about what a matchup with one of those two teams tomorrow night could look like.
Like you said, both are really good teams. We played Wright State last week, and they got off to a little bit of a rough start pitching-wise, but they played us tough the rest of the game. And I know the talent they have and the amount of wins that they win on a yearly basis. And obviously a ton of respect for what Coach Bishop does at Cincinnati, too. So we're excited. We're so appreciative to be a part of this event and for Prasco to put this on and for you guys to come out and broadcast. I mean, this is an incredible environment for our guys to play in. So just want to sincerely thank everybody that puts the time and effort into making this happen. This is an awesome experience for our guys, and we're so lucky to be a part of it. Excited to be a part of the championship tomorrow.
Well, Coach, congratulations on the win. Best of luck tomorrow.
Thank you.
Great performance today. Appreciate your time. Again, your final 6-4, Xavier over Miami of Ohio. They'll face the winner of Wright State and Cincinnati coming up here in just a little bit. Thank you for tuning in again for Game 1 of the Joe Nuxhall Classic, but we're not done. We got Wright State and Cincinnati coming up next.